How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over social media, mainstream media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got ICE raids happening all across the country, all over the country. There was a big one that kind of went viral. I believe it was in Florida. A bunch of guys on the job site got hit up by ICE. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Elon Musk is out at the White House after his scheduled departure. Someone wanted to say, oh, it was because it was controversy, all kind of extra stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jasmine Crockett. I saw some of y'all in the chat talking about Jasmine Crockett. I saw you talking about, oh, if she wasn't a Democrat, I'd marry her. I did see you say that. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jake Tapper doesn't really like Democrats too much, but not really Republicans either. He's going around trying to promote that book. That book got to be the dumbest piece of literature ever written in the history of man. I mean, writing that book at this point is like writing a book at this point about water being wet, about grass being green, about the hotness of the sun. What are we actually talking about? You're not giving me any kind of revelation. Oh, well, the president was in decline. Well, you don't say. You don't say. Who didn't know that? Stevie Wonder? Even he could tell. I'm triggered. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, we got a whole bunch of clips, a whole bunch of nonsense, all on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I did see y'all in the beginning. I'll be seeing y'all chat sometimes as I'm doing like little behind the scenes stuff, getting ready for the show. I'll see y'all what y'all be saying. Now, y'all want to do a poll? What are we doing the poll on? I do spy on y'all retro AI. I sure do. And on the after show, I see what y'all be saying. But what are we doing the poll on? Y'all let me know if I need to do a poll or if y'all just talking amongst yourselves. But we got a whole lot happening. There's a whole lot going on. Kind of not really. There's a few things that I want to show y'all. One of the craziest things, I've seen some crazy things over the past few days. Macron getting slapped by the wife was out of this world. I mean, that was just, I've never seen such a thing in my life. Sitting president getting slapped in the face, mush, push, whatever by his wife, out of control. And then you have the Transformers destroying female athletes all over the place. And it's not even close. And the one guy, hold on, like I'm gonna get to the actual video later, but I just want to show you a picture so you understand exactly the severity of what's going on. Hold up. This guy right here, rather than trying to compete against women, he wants to, pardon me, this guy right here, rather than trying to compete against the men, which is what he should be doing because he's a man, a male, a biological XY, rather than doing that, he says, you know what? I'm going to compete against the women because clearly look at this dude. Look at his whole skeletal structure, okay? You slumped over. You wouldn't be able to compete amongst the men. Listen, sports are, can I say they're the great equalizer? Well, You'll find out who's who in sports. You'll find out who is who. There's no way to do anything other than your self-work to become better than the next man. And if you're not better than the next man, you're just not better than the next man. It is what it is. It's okay. But that right there should teach you about life. There's certain levels of hierarchy. And some guys don't want to accept their position in life. So they want to go and attack others and infringe upon their rights because that's where they can shine. They can be the top person over there, but they cannot be the top person among their peers. Now, when I was coming up, if you were not the top guy, you weren't the top guy. Listen, I'm tall. I could play basketball a little bit, but I know it wasn't good for real. I mean, I'm seeing guys at 15 years old doing 360 windmill dunks. I know I can't do that. So why am I going to try to act like I can compete against these guys? Now, just because I cannot do a Vince Carter in the 10th grade does not mean I decide to become a transgender and then compete against the women. That's not how that works. I'm not good enough to compete against the men and succeed. That's it. That's it. But like I said before, maybe there should be a solution. You can have men, women, and then lesser men, if you want to carry it like that. Now, you know what's funny is that women in this case are a lot stronger than the men, because not only is there no lesser women's league, they got to compete against men who are superior to them biologically. So they're the ones who are, shouldering all this burden. They're the ones doing that. But like I said, if you really, really, really want to have your own thing because you're not as good as the top guys, lesser men. Even in high school, they have it. They got varsity and junior varsity, varsity and JV. Okay, you can't go to varsity. Well, go to JV, do that. It's okay. It's fine. It's not even really a bad thing. Just go JV, work on your skills. And if basketball, football, soccer, tennis, lacrosse, whatever is not in your future, then go hit the books, become an engineer or something like that. It is what it is. It's okay. But this right here, talking about, I'm a woman, it's out of this world. It's out of this world. Yeah, Special Olympics. But see, you know what? And then the funny part about that, that's a good point that somebody brought up, the Special Olympics. You know what's funny is that now people are faking disorders. They're faking disabilities. Oh, I have autism. Says who? Says what doctor? Says what diagnosis? Amanda Seals. I'm self-diagnosed autistic. How you do that? How you self-diagnose autistic? Like, are you going to self-diagnose a virus? Yeah, I got X, Y, and Z random disorder. How you figure that out? But you went on WebMD and you looked up symptoms. Okay, I got a fever and a runny nose. Therefore, I'm about to die. Idiots, morons. Just because you're a little bit retarded does not mean that you have autism. That's a whole different thing. And when I say retarded, I don't mean mentally disabled. I mean just not thinking clearly and not using your brain properly, not doing what's necessary to behave as a normal person. Although you can behave normally, you know how to behave normally, you refuse to do it. So you are put into the category of retarded. Now, if you're mentally disabled, that's a whole different ballgame. I don't play around with that. People that really got autism, people that are really disabled, they actually have a grievance when you're talking about things being for them. Okay, they have their Special Olympics. But you, Mr. I want to be a transgender, are just a waste in society. And that's just as simple as that. But that was on my mind. We'll get to that whole thing a little bit later. We will get to that a little bit later. I'm self-diagnosed autistic. How you do that? Like, were you like, what part of the, anyway, shout out to y'all who just go to the doctor and, look at some studies, some blood work, get second and third opinion, rather than just saying, I have this. You might not actually, you might not. Anyway, but shout out to you guys. Yeah, Amanda Seals, the elevator not going to the top floor. I don't know what the actual problem is, but I don't think it's autism. I don't think it's that. It ain't that. And people get offended at RFK when he said autism is a really serious problem, but people may have a touch of, they might get Asperger's. He's talking about people that have actual difficulty being able to move around and take care of themselves. That's a whole different thing. And a lot of that could be caused by vaccines and food and things of this nature, which is why I'm glad we got RFK Jr. on board, getting all these dyes out of the food. Some are going to say, well, if we get rid of some of these dyes, then food's going to go up. Well, what kind of food is going to go up? Wait, honey buns, oatmeal cream pies, boxed foodstuffs, cereals, beef jerky. Like, what's going to actually go up in price? Ice cream, Ben and Jerry's, Big Bag snacks. If all the Big Bag snacks, you know what? How about this? Can I say something? Can I say something right quick? Just hear me out. Hear me out. If I was the king, I could just rule by fiat, do whatever I want to do. You know what I do? I have a big back tax on all the harmful foods in the grocery aisle. Anything in the box, preservatives, sugar, fat, big back stuff. Like, I see what y'all be eating. You go on the Delta flight and you get the Biscoff cookies. Now, and I saw this in the store. I saw it in Trader Joe's. Man, it took a hold of me like it was crack calling me. The Biscoff cookies, I love that when I'm on the flight. Small little cookie, little ginger ale, little baby snack. I go to Trader Joe's, they got a whole jar of the Biscoff cookie peanut butter. Oh my Lord. But see, the problem is y'all eat stuff like that every single day and wonder why you got a back the size of the sun. I mean, it ain't hard to tell. If there was a big back tax on those snacks, maybe you wouldn't eat so much of it and maybe you would be a little bit healthier. So if food does go up, if we remove some of these dyes, if food does go up, then so be it. That's fine. That might cause our weight to go down. That might cause us to be a little bit more healthy, and it might cause us to spend less money when you're talking about healthcare. Type 2 diabetes, all kind of extra stuff that's preventable. Maybe that might decline if we put a big back tax on them fat snacks. Am I alone in that? If I was the king, I'd do that. Anybody that want to dissent, gulag, big rocks, little rocks, ASAP. Anybody got no time for that. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Do they have Orange Julius in Tennessee? Nah, ain't no Orange Julius. I know nothing about that. We got orange juice all day long, but we don't got no Orange Julius. Not at all. Okay, J Worms, JW says, protest chant, big back tax on the snacks. There we go. That's a chant right there. Put that on the t-shirt. I'm not alone, Rex Walker. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jose Dead says, tax will not work. Look at Syntax in Texas, still smoking and still drinking. Well, hey, that's a thing. What do you think is more addictive? Do you think that the bad food that they put out on the aisles are more addictive, or alcohol, tobacco, weed, crack, meth, heroin? What's more addictive? I feel like maybe the food is, because leading cause of death, heart disease, caused by what? Overconsumption, bad food, type 2, all of that come from the food. All right. Orange Julius, is that really a thing? I've never heard of Orange Julius in my entire life. Is that some kind of, is that a Canadian thing? Is that something that came from Trudeau? I don't know nothing about that. I've never heard of that in my life. It's funny what you hear about and what you don't hear about, depending on the point where you live in the world. Naomi says the food is more addictive than everything else. I believe so. I'll tell you what they got an addiction on in, what's that, Utah, them sodas. Because the LDS, they try to like find ways around the little things, the rules they have. And since they can't drink hot liquid, so no coffee from Starbucks or no hot coffee from Starbucks, they can't drink hot liquid, they can't drink alcohol. So they drink a lot of different kind of sodas. And I'm talking about, they have a container this big. Matter of fact, I'm going to find that video in a little bit. But before I get to anything, shout out to you guys, of course, for being the best audience anywhere on the interwebs. And again, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. But also, shout out to the sponsors, you guys, of course, and then also patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, as always, or just go to patriotpost.us, tell them that ABL sent you. Now, okay, you guys still talking about Orange Julius. So there's still an Orange Julius, Dairy Queen, and Topeka. Oh, it's a West Coast thing. And y'all say it's just an orange Slurpee at Dairy Queen. Oh, it is a Dairy Queen. Okay. Now, you know the funny part, I don't go to Dairy Queen either because I got a little bit of lactose. Like, I'm funny with my lactose. Stuff like ice cream and the things that I can't really do as far as dairy. Ice cream, I can't. Unless it's like just nothing but sugar. And it's got to be a certain type of consistency. I don't know. But vanilla ice cream, disgusting. Chocolate, disgusting. If it's sherbet, I can eat like a little piece of it, but beyond that, it's too much milk in it. I can't. So ice cream, I can't do. Also, American cheese, the worst. If you eat Velveeta and American cheese, your stomach is made of iron. Iron. If you eat Velveeta, your stomach is lined with adamantium. Whatever Wolverine had, you got that on your stomach if you could eat that and be all right with it. This the smell and the taste. I just, feta cheese, mozzarella, okay, all right. Some cheddar, a little bit of cheddar, sharp, sharp cheddar. American. Oh my God, I can't. Velveeta. If I go to your house Thanksgiving, you say, hey, ABL, come to my house. It's Thanksgiving. I'm asking a few questions. I'll be like, all right, first of all, macaroni and cheese, how are we going to prepare that? If you show me a video of the macaroni and cheese being prepared and you're going like this, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You know, you have a nice Thanksgiving, but I'm not trying to even really be around that. The scent alone is going to make me just be all the pieces. So I can't do nothing with it. I can't. Sunny Delight. I'd rather just have good old Florida orange juice. Sunny D is just, it ain't really it. Velveeta and Miracle Whip, what you mean? As far as, does that go together? No, that don't go together. Maybe you're just saying you don't like Miracle Whip. If you eat Velveeta cheese and Miracle Whip together, you are a gremlin. You are raised by wolves. You are a whole feral animal. Like, who does that? What human being eats Velveeta and Miracle Whip together? Why would they even be a thing? Anyway, yeah, shout out to you though, bro. Shout out to you. Yeah, y'all hungry in the chat tonight, ain't you? y'all hungry. Y'all super hungry in the chat. Government cheese? Nah. Hot bowl of liquid cheese? Hey, bald tire. Hey, man. Don't get blocked, all right? Don't get blocked, for real, because that right there was right on the edge. You might as well just, you know what I'm saying, just I don't know. But that right there is terrible. Lawn Dog says, ABL, what's wrong with good old Velveeta cheese? But it lacks in nutrition. It makes up for it in taste. It tastes worse than it is for you. It tastes worse than what it is. Bro, nah. And I've smelled some smells before. That right there is up there with the worst. Anyway, I ain't gonna talk too much about Velveeta and all this other stuff and all these big bag snacks that y'all like. Yeah, y'all like Tang, Kool-Aid. Hey, if you got a picture of Kool-Aid in your refrigerator right now, go ahead and dump that out for me. Hey, if there is a picture of Kool-Aid in your fridge right now, dump that out for me, please. Please dump it out. You don't. We're not gonna be pouring sugar by the bag into a bowl of water and drinking that with some red color in it. Talking about some, yeah, we got a drink. You have sugar water. That's all that it is. And your back will forever be cursed with bigness if you continue to do that. But anyway, patriotpost.us, y'all know the drill. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democrat, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. Also, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not. And if you want to just double check, my email is really easy. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. The email's always on the website, so you don't got to remember it. I'm not going to contact you through some 15,000-digit WhatsApp number. I'm not going to hit you up in the YouTube comment section talking about, hey, I know this guy. He could get you some money. I don't have any get-rich-quick schemes, so please don't fall for the scams. It's 2025. Don't nobody got no time for that, okay? We're out here trying to turn the corner and dump the Kool-Aid in the fridge out. We're not trying to get scammed at all. All right, so shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Let me see. I'm reading some of the comments to see if y'all still talking about these the big bag snacks. Yeah, I don't eat no Cheetos, Doritos, Fritos, jalapenos, none of the O's. I don't do none of that. Maybe a jalapeno maybe like a fajita type situation, but beyond that, I'm good money. I am good money. Things looking bad, Jason. Hey, Jason, I think right now is the best time for people to really succeed because opportunities are endless. AI is here. And the thing about AI, we talk about AI briefly before I get to it a little bit later, because I got a video from my man talking about it. Matter of fact, hold on. I kind of want to start with that a little bit. So the CEO of Anthropic, an AI company, a guy by the name of Dario, what's his name? Dario Amodi. His name is Dario Amodi. He said that AI will take up to 20% of white collar jobs in the next 5 years. So what does that mean? That means you need to get into blue collar jobs. He didn't say blue collar, he said white collar. And for you young guys who might not know what that is, blue collar jobs mean you work with your hands, like you do physical things with your hands. Okay, you're working, you're welder, plumber, carpenter, something like this. You're working with your hands, blue collar. White collar is maybe something like what I do, talking to a camera for a living. Okay, writing things for a living. Sitting at a desk, executives, suit, tie, that's white collar. 20% of those jobs are going to go away. We've already seen AI produce executive assistants that can answer, like secretaries. That's about to be a thing of the past. They got call centers. They can help you out with certain things, but just basic questions, setting an appointment, stuff like that, you get an AI for that. A lot of these jobs are going to be AI driven. They can take over the role of people in tech, doing some of the coding because AI could do it for you automatically. Some are afraid of this, but I see it as just the next step forward in technology because I remember a time when I first started doing business for myself, this didn't exist. When I first started, this didn't exist. When I first started, we had cell phones, but we had the Kyocera. When I first started making money on the internet, I had a Kyocera brick phone, no smartphone at all. The internet on your phone, like being able to watch movies and TV on your phone, it just wasn't a thing when I first started. Matter of fact, hold on, can I give you guys a visual aid? I've shown it to you before, but I just want to show you just how far we've come in a very short period of time, because I think people are afraid of AI, but it's just the next step in what we've already been doing, which is advancing forward in society. A lot of the things we have right now today were unimaginable just maybe about 15 years ago, 20 years ago for sure. Okay, hold on. I had a phone just like this when I first started on the internets back in the MySpace days. Hold on. Yeah, I had that. That was my phone. And I was, moving and grooving. A lot of contacts in that phone. Yeah, I did a lot of business with that phone. And now you got these handheld computers in the palm of your hand. You got everything right there. So this has changed the game. This has killed a lot of jobs. So now we're going to go from that to this to the next thing, which is going to be the AI. Now, I tried to embrace this technology for as long as I could. Y'all know I had a BlackBerry up until 2018. I had to get bullied. Friends had to bully me like, yo, come on, what are we doing? You got to move forward. And it's the same thing with the AI. You got to be able to move forward because the AI is here, whether you like it or not. And those who are going to utilize it for their own benefit, they'll succeed. And those who don't advance, those who don't shift, those who don't do anything to improve their stance in life, they're going to be stuck with what they stuck with. As simple as that. Now, let's go ahead and just watch some of this. Okay, so Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper brought on Dario Amodi. All righty, let's watch. Let's get a little bit of sound. That might help.
Entry-level white-collar jobs disappearing and 10 to 20% unemployment in the next 1 to 5 years. It's something that's been talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly and so publicly. I spoke to him just before air about that and other implications he thinks AI may have on society. Dario, you've said that.
So you see my man right here. Now, his appearance lets me know that he is serious about this AI stuff. Okay. Listen, if you say you're an AI CEO and you don't look like that, I'm not convinced. I'm like, all right, bro, you ain't nothing but the figurehead. This guy right here is the real deal, obviously. Again, he is CEO of the AI company called Anthropic. Let's listen.
AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20%. How soon might that happen?
Well, let's, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry level human worker would do. And so it's hard to estimate, exactly what the impact would be. And there's always this question of adaptation. And these technology changes have happened before, but I think what is striking to me about this AI boom is that it's bigger and it's broader and it's moving faster than anything has before. And so
that's one key thing he kept saying. He said it quite a bit. He says it's going fast, fast, fast. That's the thing about AI, is that it moves very quickly. Hey, you can't really wait to jump in. You got to just go ahead and get on it right now, because it's going to keep going and it's not going to stop. It's going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. It's like video games. When you started back in the 80s, 70s, you had Atari, Pong, and now you got video games that are so realistic. It's to the point where news stations have used video game footage to say, oh, that's a strike in Syria. That's somewhere in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, it was a video game. That's how realistic it's become. And the video games are getting more and more and more realistic. Same thing with the AI. It'll get smarter and smarter and smarter. Technology in general. I mean, the car didn't even exist 200 years ago. We're always going to be advancing in society. And as we get more advanced, the advancements will happen a lot quicker.
Compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact, simply because it's happening so fast that, yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough. And so there may be an adjustment period.
You are running an incredibly important company in AI, and you know this better than anybody, or as well as all the names we know, people, Sam Altman and others who are working, Elon Musk in AI. Why are you raising the alarm? Because it's not necessarily, I would think, in your best interest, because a lot of the messages we hear from, at least publicly, from some AI CEOs and stuff is a little bit more calming, like, these agents are going to be great in your life, and yes, there may be problems, but writ large, this is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I'm raising the alarm is that I think others haven't as much, and I think someone needs to say it.
There's more to this, but I don't want to play too much. It's like a 10-minute video. But what he's saying is like, hey, yes, I'm the CEO of an AI company. AI doing well benefits me and those around me, employees, whatever. It benefits us financially. But I need to tell y'all, hey, this is happening very fast, and if you don't adjust, you're going to be taken over by it. So you have to adjust, make just some kind of change in your life. I don't know what it's got to be, but what I think should happen is people need to get skills that are necessarily, people need skills that are as AI proof as possible. Like I said, working with your hands. You said 20% of the white collar jobs, not blue collar jobs. So that'd be my only advice. And if you are in a white collar position right now, figure out how to utilize AI to benefit you rather than having AI come in and replace you, because that can't happen for sure. It can't happen. Alrighty. And where do I want to start here? Okay, we got a few of these clips I wanted to get to. Okay, a few of these clips. My man talking about... Now, my man right here, I don't know if you're ready for AI. You might not be ready for AI, bro. You're still talking about Orange Man. If you're still talking about Orange Man bad, you're not ready for what's happening in this world. You're not ready for what's coming next. But let's see what he's talking about here.
After my last video, I got all kind of response, but nobody addressed the elephant in the room. That 70 million people chose to vote for a convicted felon, a lying convicted felon. You know he was lying because his lips was moving. And you chose to vote for him over a black woman. It's been said that white men are more sexist than racist. That was brought about in 2007.
Let's pause. The whole sexist thing, whatever. If you want to call people sexist for not wanting to vote for a woman, that's not a white guy thing. That is a human being thing. Whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe, whether you male or female, that's what that is. So to make it be a white guy thing, to make it be about race, it's not. Furthermore, she's not black. For the last time, sir, she's not black.
However,
and you a little bit questionable your own self, but I ain't gonna go there.
We thought we had learned from his first tenure, but now he's off to the races, and it's going to get worse.
Alrighty, so there we go. Yeah, man, you're not prepared for what's happening. You are not ready for what's going on. You worry about orange man bad, racism. Bro, I need you to just kind of get with the program, man. Let's get with the program. Okay, and my man right here needs to get with the program too. Okay, I don't know. This is a female to male transformer, I suppose, in California, of course.
I want to share something that just happened around me that made me really anxious for disability awareness. I heard like an explosion sound. It sounded like a, if you know what I mean. And I'm near a mall in America, so unfortunately that's a valid fear. I look behind me, instinctually, fight or flight, you know? And all I could see in the direction of the sound was a white Jeep that has an American flag on it. And they parked near me and they're like getting out of their car and going to dinner or something. Unfortunately, my instinct was to duck because I heard an explosion noise. I saw that truck, Jeep, whatever. And all I could think was that there was danger nearby and I had to duck and hide.
Okay, I mean, maybe you thought it was a gunshot. Maybe he's on TikTok. You can't say the word gun, but you thought it was a gunshot. Okay. Now, if it's me, I'm trying to get up out of Dodge. I don't know about ducking, but maybe you just trying to duck bullets, I suppose.
My head and make sure I was safe. I'm feeling really emotional over the fact that I even have to be worried about that, considering how I look, how I'm presenting right now, where I live, the political status of everything happening right now.
What they got to do with it? Like, if you thought it was a gunshot, that's not nothing to do with how you look, because I've heard gunshots before as well and had to duck. I didn't think, you know what? This shouldn't be going on. I'm a black man. Like, what that got to do with it? It's a gunshot.
And hearing a noise like that and seeing a car like that at the same time can cause a fear so intense that I have to hide and turn off all the lights and duck and cover. I waited till the lights passed, and then I waited a while after that. Turns out the car was parked behind me, so if this was an emergency, you know. But yeah, I wish I could be proud of this country, but instead I am in fear of the symbols that represent it. So,
bro, sis, whatever you got going on, you are the safest here out of any place on planet Earth. You are the safest right here in the good old USA. I tell you what, you can't really go many other places and have some kind of perfect safety, but you're good right here. You speak English, probably just your one language. You're good right here. You straight. You got some kind of job, some kind of employment. Go overseas somewhere and try to live there and see how that works out. And you got to go to a white place. Don't go to Middle East, Africa, somewhere like that. It's not gonna. You're not gonna enjoy that experience very well at all. The creature conference ain't gonna be there. The people ain't gonna be too nice to you. The USA is best place to be, and everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. All right, we got my man right here, Robin Hood. Okay, let's see what Robin Hood got to say.
You know what I don't get? Like, what is the point of society if we're going to have starving children anyway? Like, why did we stop being hunter-gatherers if we're going to have starving children anyway? Like, what's the point of some people being able to earn $1 billion when there's still starving children in the world? Somebody make that make sense? Because if you took all the billions away from the billionaires and just made them 100 millionaires, say you took anyone who's worth $1 billion and took all their money except for $999,999,999. If you did that, they would still be rich. They would still be astronomically rich. They would still have more money than they could possibly spend in theirs or their children's lifetime. But you wouldn't have any starving children, and you wouldn't have any homeless people. Like, what's the point of building a society if we're just going to give most of the resources created to 1% of the society and still allow starving children?
Okay, first of all, commie talk all day long. This is just communism, 100%. Okay, let's just take all the wealth from the rich and redistribute it. That never works. It never, ever, ever, ever works. It's been tried before. My man, Robin, if I can call you Robin, it's been tried before and it has failed. Okay, Soviet Union, like the list goes on. Okay, the list goes on. If you just rob the rich person, the poor person will not improve. They will not improve. And $1 billion, how much do you think it'll cost to feed all the kids in the world? How much does that actually cost? Or is it only the USA? Because certain parts of the world don't have billionaires. Certain countries don't have any like big wealthy class that can be extracted from to give to the people. It's just not really a thing that can happen. Okay, Nigeria, you got what? 20 million people, 23 million people in Nigeria. You got some rich people, but it's not enough to try to take care of every man, woman, and child in the country. That's just not how that works. And it's definitely not the case here in America where there's starving children. Ain't nobody starving in America. Starving in America means you 300 pounds and not 450. That's what starving means in America. Okay, we got too much food. We got too many people that got backs the size of beluga whales. And listen, I'm not trying to say this person has that description going on. I'm not trying to say that. But what I will say is this kind of falls into what I was just talking about as far as the food stamps and the EBTs and the whatnot. Okay, let's watch.
I've been buying this $1.50 package of tofu instead of the $9 pack of chicken breasts so that I can afford to give my children the $2.99 container of ice cream for the week. Because even poor people deserve to eat ice cream.
All right, so there's a lot going on here. First of all, I come from a place where people have no money. Like, so this whole thing about being poor and being able to eat food, I know that very well. First of all, in a lot of these poor areas nowadays, people look just like a young lady right here. When you're talking about having to scrimp and save to be able to buy certain foods, well, clearly you're not missing that many meals. So that's just off the rip right there. See, a lot of times when you have immigrants that come to this country and they'll ask questions like, hey, why are your poor people so big in my country? If you're poor, you're going to be very slender, like you are suffering from malnutrition because you're not able to buy the food to keep yourself big like that. Only in America can you be in poverty and be 250 pounds. That does not happen anywhere else on earth. Nowhere else on earth. I think maybe one place like Mauritania or somewhere like this where they fatten women up for a particular reason. But anyway, and the fattening process over there, they eating just gruel. They eat gruel over there to get themselves fat like that on purpose. Over here, we eat like kings and queens. And you know what I would say? Rather than buying tofu, which ain't nothing but soy, to replace chicken, and rather than buying sugar called ice cream, go to the produce section and just get what they need to be able to get fruits, vegetables. Let them eat that. Because contrary to popular belief, produce could taste sweet. It could taste salty. It could taste whatever you want it to taste like. Rather than going and getting, what's this? Okay. Rather than getting ice creams and packages of soy, which is what tofu is, if you didn't know, get regular produce is what I would say. And you could be a poor person and get produce. When I was real poor in my mid to late 20s, I would go to the grocery store and get all produce. I get mustard greens, collard greens, chicken breasts. That was my thing. Rice, beans. And I'm not a small person. And I was able to eat very well off of not much money. You know what I didn't get? Ice cream, cookies, pies. I didn't do that. Produce ain't cheap. It ain't that expensive. People just make excuses because you know what somebody will say? They'll say, hey, produce ain't cheap. And then they go on DoorDash and get something for $25 to eat one time. They get chicken wings from DoorDash and they pay $25 for their chicken wings. Meanwhile, you could have put the $25 into getting some fish, some chicken, some produce. You could spend your money wisely. People spend money all kind of crazy ways. Going to restaurants, going to Chipotle, Chick-fil-A. Y'all be deep. Hey, and Starbucks, oh, y'all love the Starbies. Starbies, I don't have to run the block. In the morning, aggressive driving to get to the Starbies. But then, oh, I can't afford produce. You could afford that $10 coffee every morning. You could afford to get them chicken wings from DoorDash 3 times a day. You could afford to get that Big Back breakfast from McDonald's. You could afford that. But then when it comes time for the produce, that's too much, man. I don't know. And you know why I know it's BS? Because I'm talking about, I got $20 to my name and I got to be able to buy food. I'm 6'3", about 200 or so pounds at the time. And I can keep myself afloat. If you can't and you make enough to be able to eat DoorDash and stuff like that, you just playing games. You're not spending your money right. Anyway, that's all. That's all that is to that. But let's keep on rocking and rolling. So this guy says, hey, if you're a Trump supporter, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's what he says. Okay, let's see what my man has to say.
You voted for Republicans, you should have your voting rights suspended at least one election. You don't get the chance to do it again. You can earn it back, though. You got to take some classes or something, but no. We ain't going to give you the wheel twice. Don't let them just silently take their flags down and stop talking about politics. Get the voter rolls. See who they voted for. Turn off their rights. Whoa, PR, that's real authoritarian. Glad you noticed. You voted for Republican.
All right, there we go. So my man says, hey, if you voted Republican, you voted for the orange man, hey, you shouldn't even really be involved. Now, see, I have rule of thumb. I have a few rules of thumb, but I got one big one. If you look like that, I'm not even, hey, man, like, it don't even really, thank you for your opinion, bro, but who cares, right? Ultimately, that's the beauty of this nation. We all have the right to vote. Now, I don't like that, my man right here, looking like, what's the name of that? Like, what they call it? Like a wildebeest? I don't know what it looks like. A Wendigo? I don't know. But anyway, my man right here, although I don't agree with him, he has the right to vote. I'm not a big fan of it, but I wouldn't try to disenfranchise him. I want his vote. I would want his right to vote to be protected, which is why I say voter ID, because I wouldn't want him to go to the poll and then he's trying to vote and they say, oh, you already voted. Because someone stole his identity, someone did not have identification and said that they're him, and they voted in his name. I want his vote to be protected, although I would not really like for him to vote. That's his right. As an American, you have that right to vote. So yeah, shout out to my man. Bigfoot, yeah. Hey, y'all are crazy. Hey, y'all call him Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Grinch from McDonald's, Caveman, Sasquatch, Neanderthal. Yeah, shout out to him. But regardless of what, he has the right to vote, although I'm not really a big fan. Okay, so this one, I forgot what this was, but let's watch it anyway and see what she's talking about. And at this point, pronouns, I don't know. Hey, to anyone that I may do a reaction video on, if I call you the wrong pronouns, don't even get mad. It is what it is. Just, like, I'm like the old grandpa that I call you every name in the book before I get to your name. So just accept it.
So I just found out that Michigan is banning trans players from playing in sports because they have an unfair advantage. So women, I was born a woman. Why don't you come fight me and let's see how big of an unfair advantage I have when you wake up in the hospital?
Okay. That was so weird. Like, was that a flex? Okay. If she's a woman and she can fight, I'm not sure if she can fight or not. Maybe she's a trained fighter. You never know. Okay. If you're a trained fighter and you fight other women and you win, well, congratulations. You're a trained fighter. The object is to be able to win fights. Now, if you got Mike Tyson in there, he gonna turn you every which way but loose. He'll turn you every which way but loose. All of this right here, your whole left side, he hits you one time, that's gonna go back. It's gonna shift. Like, you ever seen an earthquake and the plate shift on the ground? That'd be your face. Hey, if it's like aligned like this, with symmetry, he hits you one time, it's gonna jerk back. It'll never be the same again. That's the point. With women, let the best women rise to the top. With men, let the best men rise to the top. Don't try to commingle. Don't try to because it's unfair. And you know what? Like I said, you never see biological women, young ladies, girls, hers. You never see them, quote unquote, become men and then fight men because ain't no advantage. You little 5'2", 135-pound fun size woman will get stomped into a ridiculous piece of wine by a John Jones, a Floyd Mayweather, or something like that. It'd be embarrassing. It wouldn't even be embarrassing. It'd be brutal. It's like domestic violence. I'm not trying to watch a man beat a woman. I'm gonna call the police like, hey man, can you come get this man off this lady? I know it's a fight and they signed up, but this is crazy. He's just hitting her. I don't like that. But yeah, man, that's not really a flex to beat up a woman as a woman. Okay, congratulations. Fantastic. Do it with a man, though. It ain't going to happen. All right. Do it with a man. It ain't going to happen. Now, here's something I want to show. I got to show this. This right here was what I was talking about earlier. So this person right here is Veronica, aka Logan. What's his last name? And he's not a Logan. He's not one of us. Okay, I ain't no kin to that dude. I am no kin to that dude. His name is he was born Donovan Brown. That's what they say. I thought his name was Logan, but he was born Donovan Brown, and now he goes by Veronica Garcia. Okay. And he is a boy, a biological XY, competing against women at the Washington State 400-meter race. And you can see how ridiculous it was. I mean, the race was so absurd. You can see how far he is ahead right there. You can see how far he is ahead right in the center of the screen.
In a time of 55.70 from East Valley of Spokane, Veronica Garcia.
That's a boy! He's a boy!
Girls 400-meter dash.
It's crazy. It's totally nuts. No pun intended, okay? No pun intended, but that's totally crazy because how do you allow a biological I don't know when this happened. Was it some kind of shift, some kind of thing that it just I don't really understand. I don't really get it. But here we are. And shout out to that mom was saying, he's a boy and booing. Shout out to her for doing that. Okay, I have a different angle so you can really see it. So you can see just how ridiculous it was. And the gap between him and the girls was really bigger than what it wound up being on paper because he was jogging at the end. He was pretty much chilling, barely a jog at the end, while the girls were running their absolute hardest. And again, we're talking about high school. And look how big he is. chilling. Now, his time, 55.17, was the fastest because he won, of course, among the girls, although he's a boy. The fastest time for the 400 in the men's was 47.99. So 55.17 compared to 47.99, that's a big difference. If he ran against the boys, as he should as a boy, he would have completely lost. He came in dead last. But see, the loophole is, all right, now I identify as a woman. Okay, and then it's okay. I could do whatever I want. It's fine. That's the game that they play. Yeah, you got to ban them up out of there. And somebody had a no boys and girls sports banner, and they were flying that over the track meet.
No boys and girls sports. This is flying over the CIF track championship right now in Clovis, California at Veterans Memorial Stadium. There it is right here, folks. This is going on now.
Right on. I mean, you know what? It'll take men and women to come together to fight against this, because what's happening right now, the women are just kind of letting this go on. You got people like Riley Gaines. She's trying her best, but men got to say, you know what? Okay. Whoever's in charge, men or women, got to say, okay, no more. And maybe what has to happen is people got to stop racing in these races if they want to race. It's like, okay, you want to race against women? Well, we're not going to race. Everybody got to stop this madness from continuing. People want to say, oh, just let them race, ABL. Could you look at him because he has some kind of disability? I don't care, but I don't care nothing about that. You know, I don't have sympathy for those who have some kind of disability. Okay, you might have autism. So what? So what? At the end of the day, you're a human being, and what you're doing is wrong. It doesn't matter what kind of disability you got. If you got a club foot, a humpback, I don't care. You stubbed your toe, you done broke a fingernail, whatever. So what? So what? Everybody got to follow rules, regardless of what kind of thing you got going on with yourself. Now, you know what? Here's some good rules we got to bring back into society. And this society, elements of it need to come back. Some are going to say, oh, ABL, we shouldn't go back to the 60s. It was racism and the blah, blah, blah. Listen, just because there's racism does not mean that you cannot have a good life. Okay, listen, I hear my parents and my aunts, uncles talk about their upbringing in the 60s, West Virginia, time of their life. Beautiful time. Time of their life. Enjoying nature, enjoying each other, enjoying the community. Okay, so I'm not trying to hear all these excuses. Oh, it was racism, so what? We need to bring some of that stuff back. And one thing they should bring back, the physical fitness. If you guys have not seen this from JFK era, this is an example of one high school's physical fitness requirements. And these things, I think, should be brought back into high school now, for sure. At least in certain high schools. I don't know how private high schools are, but they need to bring it back. Let's watch.
People are shocked at what American high school gym class looked like in the 1960s. This footage is from one of the 4,000 U.S. high schools that followed La Sierra's physical education program that was pushed to be the standard model by JFK. According to the La Sierra physical education standards that were outlined in their 1966 handbook, the minimum push-ups that a student should be able to do is 16, and they should have at least a 7.5-minute mile run. Considering most modern Americans struggle to even complete 5 push-ups, this 16 minimum is quite shocking. The top group that was outlined in the handbook is Blue Team, and to be a part of this, you had to be able to perform 12 handstand push-ups and at least 14 pull-ups, which are crazily impressive standards. Considering 1 in 6 modern American children have obesity, it is a shocking sight to see how seriously fitness and health were being taken in the 1960s, and how even the president was helping push forward this higher standard of physical education in school. Many people wonder if America as a country will ever return to a place even close to this. But considering the trends in obesity and the culture shift.
Wow. So look, okay, there's a lot I wanted to get to, but you see this graph at the end? So on the left, there's a graph for men. Overweight men has been pretty high since 1960. extremely obese was flat in 1960, 70, and then right around late 80s, early 90s, it began to spike. But obese men spiked right around 1980, early 80s. That's when it spiked, and it's been up ever since. It went from about 10% in 1960 to about 35% right now. So we got a problem. And then women, there was an issue right there. Obese women, it went from about 15% in 1960 to about 42% right now in 2000. Well, that's 2014. And I know that the numbers ain't gone down much since then. Also, something else about the push-ups. Yeah, I think that makes sense for sure. 16 push-ups, 2 pull-ups. For high school kids especially, yes, you should be able to do that. I could do that stuff right now at 40 years old. If you're 15 years old, you should be able to do that, no problem. Listen, when I was 15, I mean, yeah, I could do that all day. Go outside 2 hours, play basketball like it's nothing. I can't really do that now, but back then I could. So I think kids should most certainly be on an athletic program like that, because that is going to help reduce the expenditure as far as healthcare is concerned. It'll improve the quality of your life. You'll feel better. You'll be able to be more productive. You'll do better in your life. Overall, I think it makes more sense. And that's why I would say I would have the fat. Look, I will put that back in school, and then I put the fat tax on top of that. So if you want the big bag snacks, you want to pay for it. And when you're in school, you're going to be encouraged to eat healthy and live healthy to be able to pass the physical examination. Yeah, dodgeball, all of that. Yes, all of that. That's definitely a thing. All right. Yeah, that's right, Catherine. It feels good to be able to exercise. It'll reduce anxiety. Absolutely. 10 Pansies says, I'm getting tired just thinking about it. Nah, it's all good. But high school kids especially, that's when it really starts. Like early, like childhood, that should be when you're really building your physical foundation, when you're young. So as you get older, your body don't start breaking down so much. I saw a clip of this dude. I think I showed it on here. Dude's 44 years old with a cane hunched over. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be 40 years old with no cane hunched over. And you know, nah, knees going like that. We don't got time for that. I'm trying to feel good as I get older. And I know that age is going to start to just dwindle you down a little bit, but I'm going to defeat it a little bit. Now, speaking about defeat, Trump is not defeated. He's undefeated in my humble opinion. And this question was about a thing they have, some type of saying. Taco, have you guys heard that? Taco, Trump always chickens out, because he always, quote unquote, backs down from tariffs. Now, I've heard this be said quite a bit. Oh, he backed down from the tariff. Well, did he back down from the tariff, or did he reach a deal? It's a difference. If I impose a tariff on you and then you hit me on the phone like, hey, can we please talk? Can we make an agreement? We make an agreement and we move forward. I drop the tariff. Why must I keep tariff on there if we reach an agreement? That's not chickening out. It's called reaching an agreement. But let's see what Trump says when asked a question about Trump always chickens out on the tariffs on China and whatnot. Check it out.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me, he said, we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead.
I mean, he's right on a point. He's right on a point. But, people just want to just try to attack. It's so weird. I never understood the purpose of wanting someone to fail. Like, if you are a U.S. citizen especially, why would you want the president to fail? Wouldn't you want him to do good? Even if it's Joe Biden, I want Joe Biden to do good. So if Joe Biden does something I like, hey, you know what? Hey, good Biden, you did good right there. I wouldn't just say that he did something bad if he did something good, just because I don't like what he does in general. I'm not a hater like that. I'm not that bad. I mean, good grief. Good night. Now, let's talk about what Congress is doing. Speaking about the federales and whatnot, let's talk about what Congress is doing. Do you guys know they get 18 weeks of vacation? Now, listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but 1 month is 4 weeks, right? So can we just do a little bit of quick math? Okay, what's floor plus floor? It's 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So you're talking about 4.5 months out of the year you get paid vacation. You make $174,000 base pay as a House rep, Congress, whatever. That's your base pay. Plus you get speaking engagements like Jasmine Crockett does. We'll talk about her a little bit later. Speaking engagements, book deals, stocks, because you're a lawmaker and you're able to write laws, but you still get paid 18 weeks of paid vacation.
Let me tell you what makes absolutely no sense. The United States Congress is getting 18 weeks of vacation this year. That's right, 18 weeks. Can you believe that? Do you get 18 weeks of vacation? Probably not. You probably
18 days, 18 hours of vacation. What you talking about?
Probably don't get 17. I bet you don't get 16. I bet you don't get 15. I bet you don't even get 6. You probably get 2, 3, 4, or 5. Most companies don't go above 5 or 6 on their vacation time. And so not only that, they get paid $174,000 a year. Now, I saw this worked and not worked calendar off of X. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise posted it on X. He has the whole year, work days and not work days. Do you know the amount of work days also is 133 work days for the entire 2025? Now, call me crazy, that's 1/3 of the year, right? About 1/3. Not only that, they get paid 174. You equate that by 133 days. They're getting paid over $1,300 a day per day in Washington. Do you get paid $1,300 a day? Probably not. I know some of you big ballers probably do, but most of us do not get paid $1,300 a day. So they're getting 18 weeks vacation. They're getting paid $1,300 a day. And what's getting done actually in Washington? And so we're paying those from the American taxpayer dollars, but do you see a sense of urgency? It's not just the amount of time worked, which kind of tells me a lack of sense of urgency, but I don't see a lot of stuff getting done right now.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot getting done. Not a whole lot justify 18 weeks of vacation total. And that's over a period of time, but they also get blocks of time off. I think they get 2 full months straight off, no work at all. I mean, that's crazy. To me is lazy. In my humble opinion, I think it's lazy. I don't like it. I like for you to actually go to work. If you're going to work for me and get paid that much money, I want you to go to work for real. Okay, this culture of working, getting paid a whole bunch of money, but not working, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan. Okay. Now, this video is talking about their issue with private equity. Okay, let's watch this. And this is a good video, actually, because I kind of want to talk about some things that she spent some money on here.
Private equity is ruining everything and it's driving me insane. My dog's vet got bought out by private equity, and it used to be this place that actually liked dogs, and the doctors were so awesome. Now every time I go, they try to upcharge me on everything. Things that I don't go for, I confirm what I'm going for, and then they say that they need to do it all of a sudden. And it's not something that they need to do because I confirm before going in, so that way I can shop around, right? Which I'm going to be changing my vet. But it's just insane because I went today and I took my dog. He needs to get his prescriptions refilled basically. So we did a heartworm test and they proceeded to quote me for $2,000 in additional services that he may need. One being teeth cleaning, which all of that was for teeth cleaning actually. And I've gotten quotes for other places for teeth cleaning because I know his teeth need to be cleaned pretty soon. And I've gotten quoted for $400 at other places. $400.
Can I pause for a second? Now, so far, are these prices a little bit crazy? Are they cheap? Are they expensive? Are they right in the ballpark? Y'all let me know for veterinarian prices.
Why is it $2,000 at my former vet where I used to be able to go in without an annual exam and get vaccine, where now I have to go in for an annual exam, I have to go in for an exam for anything. And every time I go in, they try to upsell me on multiple things that I've already declined. And they don't even pet my dog. They don't even act like they like dogs. And I just feel like private equity getting into pet ownership is insane because we've been pushed out of the market to be able to afford children.
Okay. Hold on. Children? Wait a minute.
Because of private equity and private insurance. And so a lot of us...
Okay. So you're saying that private equity is the reason why, having a baby is expensive and dogs and all that kind of stuff is expensive. Now, I don't know about y'all, but look, if I'm paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for the dog, I mean, at a certain point, shout out to Christy Gnome. It is what it is. What you want me to do? Like, if you got an old, sick dog that's limping around, struggling, and you spending 5 bands, 10 bands, hey, man, it's time to go ahead and just, go over there. So, I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Is it just an issue with private equity, people coming in, buying up places, and it's all about money? I don't know. I think vets in general are expensive. And if your vet got bought out, they probably were struggling financially. And the new people that came in know how to make money. And the way they make money is by charging for certain things and upselling and stuff like that. It's all about just being able to stay afloat financially. So it's already said, dang, ABL. I'm just saying. I mean, y'all know. Listen, let's not even do that. Don't owe me. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Some of these dogs out here limping around. Okay, the dog is 25 years old, limping around, blind, don't know what's going on, coughing, sick, gray. It's like, all right, man. Like, let's just let the dog be at peace. Let's not have this dog be tortured around this house. If the dog was in the wild like that, the dog would have been perished. Let's just let the dog be at peace. I get it. I know everybody got emotional connections, but my goodness. So yeah, but shout out to the vets out there. I understand that it's an expensive game. I get it, 100%. People get offended by that dog stuff. I know people are going to get offended by that. How dare you, ABL? I'm so sorry if you're offended. I really am. I don't want to, get nobody too worked up. Okay, so moving right ahead, there was a Snap scandal. Quite a bit of monies were stolen through the SNAP program. And y'all know about SNAP, that's the food benefits. This is how I know that ain't nobody starving in America, when you can steal $60 million from SNAP and everybody still is able to eat their food that they get from SNAP.
Listen, this is a new day, and President Trump promised as he was traveling across the country over the last few years that it would not be the government that we know. The government certainly that under Joe Biden exponentially grew, and alongside that, including the fraud and waste and abuse. And so at USDA, we are hyper-focused on rooting out that waste, fraud, and abuse. And to your point, yesterday was, if not the largest, one of the largest stings, and moving forward and finding that fraud, I think almost $70 million that is no longer going to be.
$70 million in SNAP benefits fraud. $70 million from a USDA employee and 5 others, of course.
be allowed here in Washington and with these programs like the food stamp program. So we're going to move forward, obviously, in partnership with the FBI, with the Department of Justice, of course, our team at USDA. This is not the one and only. There are going to be many more to come, and we're going to make sure that we're delivering on our promises to the taxpayers. Listen, this is
$70 million almost and SNAP benefits. It's crazy. But look, and I got some evidence right here. So you see what it says: USDA employee and 5 others charged in multi-million-dollar food stamp fraud and bribery scheme. Okay, so that's her right there. Okay, and she worked there. Listen, can you guys see the screen? Her LinkedIn. She worked at USDA since 1987. 1987. Some of y'all weren't even alive when she first started working at USDA. But having a career for 40 years, that's not enough. You got to steal some money on top of that. See, this kind of stuff right here, she'd be the kind of person that need to get fired from the government. Okay? Because you're there for that long, and what do? Steal $70 million? Out of this world. 1987. And she black, which is embarrassing, but that's fine. Okay. Now, every city is in a deficit. Every progressive city is in a deficit. Is that true? Do y'all think that all these progressive places all over the country are in deficit, or is that an exaggeration? Y'all let me know. Okay, let's check this out.
I don't know if you all have noticed. It's okay though. I noticed for you that all of our most progressive cities in all of the United States of America, they're all in budget deficits. Almost every single one of them. New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, Oakland. Go ahead, name a few more. Probably Chicago. I didn't check Chicago, but I wouldn't be surprised. You can double check that one for me. It's so... In Denver, I was reading about Denver, so there was an article in the West Side Current. If you're from Denver, you know that publication. So an article came out that residents are starting to complain because the quality of their parks are going downhill so bad. Like trash removal, general maintenance, plants aren't being watered. And you want to know why? Well, because they cut the Parks and Rec budget. They cut the budget by $5 million in 2024, but you want to know what they did spend money on in 2024? Around $80 million went to migrants, over $100 million to the homeless situation. And the thing about Denver specifically, I know because I used to live there, Parks and Rec is Denver. People move to Denver for the outdoorsness and for the parks. Like, they're known for their parks. And so that goes downhill. That's a big chunk of people spend so much time at the parks. That is a big, big, major chunk of quality of life.
So, like, what's your opinion on that about Denver and other parts of the country where a lot of money was spent on migrants, on the homeless, also migrants, in my humble opinion, but you're taking away from the very thing that makes the city the city? Okay, Denver, people go in there because of the great outdoors. Okay, they want to go skiing up in the mountains. They want to do outside things. And if you take away from that, it's like, well, what are we doing? What's going on here? It's like, okay, if you got Virginia Beach and you just neglect 17th Street, what are we doing? We need to have that for the tourists. They're going to come straight from 264, straight from the airport, right on the interstate, 264, bam, right down 17th Street. If they get there and you got crack smoke and all kind of stuff right there, then what are we doing? We're ruining the main tourist attraction. It makes no sense. When I was in Virginia, that was a priority, the tourist areas, priority, because they know a bunch of money comes in. To the point where when you have certain festivals, they either look forward to it or they're going to be dreading it because they know what it's going to bring. They're calculating how much money they're going to be able to make. When I was part of this, when I was a graphic designer, I did an event called NOBLE, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement. That's racist, ABL, whatever. Anyway, I did the event as far as their signage and posters and whatnot. And after the event was over, It was a news report that says, okay, this event brought in X millions of dollars to the tax base. And they think about stuff like that before anybody comes in, before there's a big tourist event, before a hotel is built, before anything that is done, and thinking about what they're going to be able to gain from it. Denver, same way. Your Parks and Rec is going to bring in the tourists, which adds to your tax base. If you're going to ruin that, you're going to have less money. You're spending money on things that don't make any money. Dope fiends, crack smokers, and migrants. That's just silly. That's just silly ways of being able to do things. So yeah. Now, speaking about migrants, okay, we got a job site out here in, believe in Florida, and the federales pulled up on the job site. Now, I got to ask y'all a question. Do you think this is good optics to have the federales at a job site picking up migrants with work clothes on and stuff like that? I don't really think so, to be totally honest with you. I don't really think so, because before they got to the site, you knew where they were at anyway, in my humble opinion. You know where they live at, so I don't know. Let's just watch, though.
Yeah, that's going to be one floor above us.
All right, so that's that. I think we got another one right here. So we got music in the background, but now you see you got the guys with zip ties walking together, kind of a perp walk. Guys in their work clothes. It just got done working. Guys sweating and stuff like this, and then you got them in the zip ties. Like, what are we doing? I mean, I'm not upset about migrants getting deported, because let's be clear, 20 million at least that came into the country willy-nilly through the southern border. Okay, but when you got guys in work clothes, though, like, what's going to happen is they're going to use that on the news. Oh, well, they're deporting the lifeblood of the country. Those are wanting to build things. Americans don't want to build things. That'll be the narrative. You'll see that on the mainstream media for sure. If you watch the news, they're going to play that clip, and they're going to say exactly what I'm saying to you right now. Okay? So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of them going to the work site, because it just looks bad for social media and the news and stuff like that. I am in favor of deportations, though. Let's not get that confused. But, yeah, I don't feel sympathy. Don't get that twisted either. All I care about at this point is, does it look good or not? And ultimately, what I really care about is, do we have a safe nation? If we got a safe nation, then cool. If we got people on a job site getting deported, well, that sucks, but what are we going to do? It is what it is. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. There's my uncle. That's funny. There's my uncle. It's hilarious. All right. Now, speaking about houses and stuff like that, I got some real estate stuff for you before we get to the other videos. This guy bought this house. Okay, I'm going to show you the house, right? I'm going to show you the house. Just a picture, a brief picture. And then I want you guys to guess. I want you guys to guess how much this house costs. I know the price. I have it. But what do y'all think this house behind him costs? I know you can't see the entire thing. You can't see the inside and whatever, but you know it's not necessarily super big or whatever. I don't know where he is. Probably not California, I would presume. How much do you think that house costs for him to build? All right. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal it right here. Boom. Total cost breakdown, $195. $195. Pretty good. Let's see how he did it.
This house costs $195,000 to build, and this is the total cost breakdown. Plans and the permits were $7,300. The foundation, which included this brick apron, was $26,000. The lumber package, plus the cost to frame the house, was $25,000. The HVAC was $10,000. The plumbing was $9,800. God! The vinyl siding was $9,500. The windows were $4,200. The exterior doors were $1,900. The drywall was $8,500. The tile cost for here, and here was $10,800. The cabinets cost $7,300. The appliances cost $2,800. I'm thirsty. The LVP flooring, plus the carpet in the bedrooms, was $4,600. Kind of soft. Some additional upgrades, like this barn door, the arches, the accent wall, the built-in closets, and the fireplace was about $8,000.
Say, Drake, I heard you should follow for part.
Okay, yeah, so there we go. I don't know where he is, don't know where he's located. Somebody said, have I played it before? I've not played that before because the Drake, Kendrick Lamar in the background was killing me. Oh my God. I would not play that again. Hey, if I heard that the first time, it would have been an immediate burn in my mind. Like, hey, don't play that no more, bro. Like, let's not. But anyway, yeah, pretty cheesy presentation, but $195 for that is a pretty good deal in 2025 or whenever that was filmed recently. Very good deal. But it all depends on where you at, though. You in California, you're not going to be able to do it. He could be somewhere, Tennessee. I don't know where he is. He could be like Middle Tennessee, potentially. That's kind of what that looks like a little bit. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that song was tearing me to pieces. I didn't like that at all. Okay, so this guy has a condo in Richmond, Virginia. Okay, downtown. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to downtown Richmond to live. You got these, what they call them? They call these guys like urban pioneers, like the McCloskeys of St. Louis. It's kind of like them. Down here, I'm not living down there. You couldn't pay me no money to live in downtown Richmond. Let's go ahead and watch and see his condo and how much he pays. Again, Richmond, Virginia.
I'm here with today.
Monty.
And how much do you pay for your place here in downtown Richmond?
I paid $2,800.
Can we get a tour of your place?
Come on, let's go. Welcome to the crib. It's kind of a loft-style crib down here. We have a little nice seating area here for when I have friends over. Check trunk from the 1880s that my great-great-grandparents brought over. As you go in here, you have the beautiful view of Richmond. These nice Brooklyn case windows. They open up just like that. We have some plants and all that to add to the ambiance. I like to cook a meal at least once a day. Sometimes it's breakfast, sometimes it's dinner, depending on how I'm feeling. And what's super interesting about this place is you can actually see these floors right here. You can see markings from where machines were originally installed. They made this to be a Chevy dealership, and just recently, in the past 15 years, it was renovated into condos. And then we have the bedroom up here where all the magic happens. We have some plants.
I've seen this one before, though. I've seen this before. I might have already shown it too, but I have seen this before.
Up here, you have an eastern view of Richmond, which is absolutely beautiful. So you can see everything from the Fed, Dominion Building, John Marshall, headed all over the city.
What's your favorite part about living here?
Favorite part about living here is definitely the view. I would say my second favorite part is being here in the Arts District. Last year, Pharrell Williams filmed a music video right downstairs.
And where in the house do you hang out the most?
Definitely my desk, sometimes until like 2, 3 a.m. just working there. It's a great desk. I love it. With this view, it's absolutely amazing.
Thanks for showing us around.
Thank you for having me, man.
Who am I here with today?
All right, so there we go, out there in Richmond. What did he say it was? He said it was $2,800 for that? Yeah, Richmond, nah. I mean, you could live in the surrounding area, Henrico, all of that, Short Pump. Live out there is fine. Spotsylvania, but I'm not living in downtown for no 28. But he's young. It might work for him. Yeah, it might work for him. That's probably not necessarily a bad deal for a young guy like that. All right, so... Hold on. I'm going to show this. So, because we're talking about how much it costs to be able to buy food and live and whatnot earlier. So, we got a family of 4 living on 60 grand a year. Okay. Family of 4, husband, wife, boy, girl, little kids, 60 grand a year. That's all they got. So, how are they going to live on that much money? And again, I don't know where they live quite yet. Let's see if it makes sense.
We live on one full-time income of $60,000 a year, and we're doing just fine. Our mortgage is $1,800 a month, and with all of our other housing costs, we manage to keep the house running. I do pull in a side income, but it's inconsistent. We treat it like savings, not something that we depend on.
See, now, no. See, that's dishonest, because if you got side money and you spend it at all, you got to add that to your 60. But I'll give her a pass.
When we bought this place, we made sure one income would support it, so when we're both working, we just save more. Our car, paid in full. It's a 2008, no payments, still going strong 5 years later.
That's a big key. If you're trying to have an income if you're trying to spend your money wisely, You want to have a car with that is paid off, no car note for sure.
We live below our means, budget smart, and still hit our financial goals because peace of mind is worth more than lifestyle inflation. We live on.
I don't know if I believe that one. I'm not really pulling it. Okay, hold on. Is there? I think there was some kind of chart that came up. Okay, now here's a chart. So spending, housing costs $3,000, utilities $433, miscellaneous $100, debt $169, food $700, gas $300, shopping $100, laundry $20. Okay, that's I don't know. I don't really buy it. What do y'all think? You think it's that they're telling the truth? And to the mom, what's your side hustle there? What's going on with the side hustle? Hey, y'all said it. I ain't say it. Sean, listen, Sean, I ain't say it. Y'all said it, but I'm just saying that's the kind of vibe I get as well. Well, I have a little bit of side money, but it's inconsistent. I bet it is. I bet you lost some subs 1 month and got some more subs the next month, and then it kind of made sense. That's what's going on. Now, here's a young guy going to Australia to mine, and he's saving a bunch of money, and he's going to go back and be able to buy a home in cash. It might be a tough job, might be a rough job, but you're young, you can do it. Why not? Again, he's out there in Australia working in a mine.
This is how much money I made after 2 years of working FIFO mining in Australia in an entry-level job. Working here for 2 years allowed me to get ahead financially and fast-track my financial goals. When I first came over here, this is a screenshot of my bank. I had absolutely nothing. When you're working out here, the base pay starts at around 98k, so it's very easy to make a lot of money out here.
So when he first came out there, he had about $300 in his pocket, or in his account. $300, that's all he had. And you're going to see how much he had at the end.
Especially in entry-level roles. This was my second week in FIFO and my payslip hadn't come in yet. I had $723 and I was in dire need of a big payslip. And there's one thing about FIFO, the payslips are massive. This was my first payslip after working a month in FIFO. As I said, the base pay out here is around 98k a year, but there's a few entry-level jobs that pay up to well over 140,000 a year. So it's easy to stack up the cash. This is my second month's payslip at 25k. Keep in mind, while you're working FIFO mining Australia, there's very little expenses out here. Essentially, you have no expenses. After 1 year in FIFO, I was able to earn well over 123,000. Obviously, I had a bit of expenditure in there because the salary was actually up to over 140,000. The role is an offsite driller and people can do it on a work holiday visa. After 2 years of working in FIFO Australia, I was able to save up to 200,000. I was then able to return home and buy my first home. If you're serious about getting into FIFO Australia on a work holiday visa, make sure you follow us on Instagram and check out our website, Fly In Fly Out Australia. We show you exactly how to get into mining, whether you have qualifications or not. And if you're a tradesman or woman, you can actually make a lot more money out here, and they're calling out for you. Follow for more, folks.
There you go. So I'll keep telling y'all about the trades. Listen, you got a skilled trade. Hey, there's a place for you. You want to travel, you want to do hard jobs. Hey, and it's right there on the screen now. Contact them at your own risk. Don't get scammed. I don't know if it's a scam or not. I don't think it is, because I've heard about guys being able to go places and get money like that. Yeah, so it's not. Look into it. Do due diligence. Do your research, but it's available. So you're young. Why not? A lot of guys not finding what they're able to do over here to be very fulfilling and not making the kind of money they want. Hey, go over there and then figure it out. Okay? Selling info. Well, sometimes, you know what, when you purchase information, sometimes it actually helps you. Because I've bought info before and it helped. It made sense. But sometimes it doesn't. That's why I say you need to just do your own independent research and figure it out. Figure it out. Now, this one is about unconventional jobs, okay? Because somebody might say, well, I don't believe that one. That's cap. I saw you say that. Oh, I don't believe that, ABL. You can't make that much money as a miner. Okay, well, what can you do? What other jobs are available? What other things are available that you can do to make money? And a lot of the things that you see people do out on the street, like, okay, you got a guy selling water on the street. You think he don't make any money, but he does. It all depends on where you at. It all depends on how you go about your business. It depends on a lot. So this guy's going to ask people what they make in their unconventional job.
I'm a surf instructor over in Malibu.
Awesome. And how much do you make?
I make $35 an hour.
We're dog sitters. Dog sitters,
Yeah,
both of you?
in LA.
And how much do you make?
Probably like
around 6K a month.
6K a month.
They're dog sitters making $6,000 a month. Dog sitting. Listen, people got advanced degrees, all kind of crazy student loan debt, and don't make that in a month. $6 a month to babysit dogs.
K a month.
And you know how crazy the whole thing with the dog game is so serious. Listen, they got a doggy daycare right down the street from me. A doggy daycare facility, brick and mortar. They probably printing money over there. Printing money.
I sell hot dogs.
How much do you make doing that?
So how much you think a hot dog stand guy makes? Just out there making hot dogs in Indianapolis, Indiana. How much do you think he make for making selling the hot dogs?
Anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a year. I sell waters and Gatorades here at the White House.
Love it.
Okay, so this guy sells waters and Gatorades at the White House. In DC, of course. Regular guy, Apple Watch, white tee, bucket hat. I see a few ducats right there in your hand. How much do you think he makes in a month for selling water and Gatorades?
Love it. How much do you make?
Roughly $3-4 grand a week.
$3,000 to $4,000 a week doing that. Now, do you think that's all just, inventory, or is that straight cash in his pocket?
How'd you get into this?
I've been doing this for about 15, 16 years. A lot of tourists come down here every day and they unprepared, and most times they get overcharged at the vending stand. So I come at a fair marketable price at $1, and that's what I do.
I guess I'm semi-retired, and I'm actually a simulated patient for a local hospital network. I actually play different patients in different parts.
How much do you make doing that?
I make like $20 an hour.
I'm a candy scientist. We test,
a candy scientist, okie dokie, Portland, Oregon.
Raw ingredients, finished products, any factory issues that happen, they come to our lab, and we help figure out and characterize everything. Currently, what am I doing? About 75,000.
All right, there we go. So unconventional jobs. Did you even know there was a thing called a candy scientist? There is 75 bands right there. Okay, there you go. Simulated patient. Hey, these jobs, man, people just find creative ways to be able to do things. Like I never even heard of a simulated patient before, but apparently that's really a thing. That's really, really a thing. I had no idea. All right, I think I got one more of those. I'll keep on moving here. All right, I got one more that I want to show. Just the expenses people pay. Matter of fact, I want to show a couple more. This right here is going to be how much they spend living in California. We got a couple in their 20s. How much do they spend in California? Y'all California people, man, I don't know how y'all even make it every day. I don't really get it. I couldn't do it. Living in California, man, look, I have to go out there and do something strange, a little piece of change out there to make ends meet. But let's watch this. Again, couple in their 20s, living in California. How much do they spend? How much do they make?
This is how much we spent last month as a couple living in California in our 20s. This is just for peace of mind so we can keep track of our own expenses. This is only 3 of our 5 bank accounts because the other 2 are business accounts. I don't even want to talk about business. And we are trying to live frugally below our means. But let me see. I gotta take off my jacket for this. Housing, bills, and utilities. We live in a 4-bed, 3-bath. $3,413.15. Internet is $60. Car payment. Paid off my car when I was 19 years old, but I did have to maintenance it. $758.19. Gas I got twice. $153.83. I had to pay for my own health insurance. I don't know why. That's just what my tax guy said I gotta do, so I just listened. And that is $332.28. Groceries was $453.87. But that's actually pretty good because we only eat at home and we stretch that bitch for the whole month. Y'all know I got a private chef at home, aka my girlfriend. Our dog vet bill, $164.14. That was actually one of the lower payments. And her pet insurance is $36 a month. Money spent on my girlfriend.
Pet insurance? That's a real thing, pet insurance?
Is $254.29.
Hold on. How much is what's that?
And 14. That was actually one of the lower payments. And her pet insurance is $36 a month. Money spent on my girlfriend is $254.
Money spent on my girlfriend is hilarious. That's funny. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
and 29 cents. You lucky I Lulu your ass up. Clothes that I bought for me, but me and my girlfriend are the same size, so we kind of share. $869.37. Other expenses. These are super random. This is like furniture, going out to eat, clothes for our dog, really random shit. $555.54. And I did put $500 in a high yield savings. And looking at these other expenses, I could have definitely sacrificed and put more into there, but fuck it, we both. And last month we spent $7,550.66.
Damn.
Yeah, damn. Oh, fuck. It really just don't feel like it, because when you're an adult, bro, every time you step outside, you spending something. Welcome to California, I guess. I do want to make more videos like this for y'all, just so you guys have a peace of mind, and it holds myself.
So $7,500 a month in California, just regular. And he's trying to like save money a little bit, you know, girlfriend money, all this kind of stuff, vet, dog insurance. All right. But that's California for you. Now, hey, can you do that other parts of the country? Would you need to do that in other parts of the country? Like if you lived over here in my neck of the woods, that is just expensive. That's living really high on the hog at that point. And to be renting a property, if I'm paying $3,500 on my place, like a 4-bedroom, all kind of, I want to have a own something rather than just paying rent. But I've heard worse. I have heard worse than that. This right here, okay, this is the last one about that type of stuff. Then I go back to the political. So look, this right here, $29,000 a month in Miami.
Come with me to check out what $29,000 a month gets you in Miami. This penthouse is located in Edgewater at Paraíso Bay, which is one of the top buildings in the area. It's an amazing building with tons of amenities, and wait until you guys see the terrace that this unit has. It is such a unique feature, so make sure you stay till the end to see it. But let's go ahead and go up to check it out. One of the features I love about this apartment is that the elevator opens up directly to your own private foyer that no one else has access to except for you. Heading inside, you have over 2,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a den, and this unit is fully furnished.
I mean, off the rip, it looks nice, but $29,000. Listen, Miami, Florida at a certain point might become California because of what's happening. People are moving there in droves, becoming more expensive. You got the rich and the famous and all of that. Is just, you're going to have a new California created over in Florida. I hope and pray it doesn't really happen. Hopefully you guys are still conservative enough to hold off the horde. But remember, California was a red state. Let's not forget about that in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And now look at it. So I pray that you guys don't suffer that same fate in Florida. And you know what? I don't want that type of stuff to be close to me. Living like almost North Georgia, that's a little bit too close for comfort. I don't want, it's like, I want a buffer in between that and civilization.
With extremely high-end furniture, of course. I absolutely love the fully renovated kitchen and the invisible cooktop. It's one of the coolest parts about this penthouse. It was truly renovated with so much attention to detail. There's a built-in sound system, so you can go ahead and play music throughout the apartment. On this level, you have a balcony that you can access from the living room and the primary bedroom. The shower is absolutely stunning with 2 shower heads, which I love. I love a good rain shower. And then you have a gorgeous walk-in closet with LED lights all around. Wow.
It's a little bit too much for me. It's a little bit too... It's a little bit too lifestyle to the rich and famous. I don't know. The character for me ain't really there. It's like super, super nice, but I feel like I'm in the penitentiary. I feel like, you know, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. Put like jail cell. Yeah, like a nice prison. If I got locked up right here, it's like, okay, let's just put you in there. You'd be satisfied. Beautiful, but I don't know. Not really a fan. But if you like it, I love it. It's fine. All right. Now, speaking about if you like it, I love it. Some people like Jasmine Crockett. Now, listen, as I was saying earlier, I know some people, some Republicans that I know, run up on her. Hey, Jasmine, I like your stuff. I think you're funny. Can we get a picture? I've seen y'all, not you guys, but I've seen people I know run up on her and get a picture. I have absolutely seen it. So when she says Republicans like me sometimes, I don't doubt it. Some, not all, some. But I think it's more about her entertainment value than her as a political person. So here is David Hogg on The Breakfast Club. I think David Hogg is what now, a DNC, a DNC co-chair or something like this. And he is floating the whole Jasmine Crockett thing. Now, here's my question to y'all. Do you think that Jasmine Crockett has a chance to become the president in this country? Or would she run in 2028? Because listen, who do they have in the Democratic Party? Let's be honest. Who do they have? And I've been asking this for quite a long time now. They don't really have anybody. All they got really is Gavin Newsom. But he is content at this point being the emperor of California. So he doesn't really want to. Big Mike don't want to run. Who do we have left? AOC? Jasmine Crockett? They're pretty much the same. Jasmine Crockett is a black version of AOC. So who do they really have? Anyway, here is David Hogg talking about Jasmine.
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that
you see that? Yeah. Hold on.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go. Should vote for her.
I think that people want to see somebody who fights and calls out the bullshit.
Right.
Ultimately, I think that's what Jasmine does, and we need a hell of a lot more people that are out there that are willing to do
the cussing. I'm not really buying, David. Just be regular. You don't got to do all that.
Just that and call people out on their BS and not say, oh my God, Republicans are going to criticize me for saying this. Screw that. They're going to criticize you no matter what. So what we should be asking ourselves is, what are we really fighting for? Yeah. Because we know it matters. And I think Jasmine is frankly the type of leader that we're really looking to support in some senses, right? Somebody who is out there that frankly doesn't give a damn what the other side, at least the elected Republicans in Congress say what they believe in. And at least even if you don't agree with her, you know what she stands for.
Yeah.
Because she makes it very clear. And people are really craving that right now. They don't want more politicians that say talking points that it doesn't even feel like they believe, or you don't even really know what they mean. They want somebody who's out there that says what they believe and doesn't care what somebody else thinks about it. They want that authenticity.
All right. Now, that's a good point about wanting authenticity, but I also would like to have competence. Just because you're authentic does not mean it's okay to be incompetent. I don't want someone authentically incompetent. That's not really what's cracking in 2025. But, okay, Kiwan asked me to start a poll because I guess that was a poll question earlier. If Jasmine Crockett left the Democratic Party, if Jasmine Crockett left the Democrats, became conservative, would you want to marry her? Okay. And I'll do the poll for real. I'm about to do it right now. If Jasmine Crockett left Democrats, would you marry her? And the answer's yes, no. There we go. All right, the poll's set. I don't know what to expect, but this is a poll by request. Okay, that's the reason why it's up there right now. All righty. And I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to just let it run in the background. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, here's Charlie Kirk talking about David Hogg and what he said about Jasmine Crockett. All right, shout out to Charlie, Triple OG.
Think of masculinity. This is what I think about. I mean, look at this Titan. Look at that menace, that mountain of muscle. I mean, come on. Those biceps, boom. That fierce look in his eyes. Outside of the physical characteristics that make David Hogg indistinguishable than a survivor from a concentration camp.
No.
More important component is that he never stands up for core values. He's always pandering. I mean, he's sitting there, he's talking to the people around him, and he's like, oh yeah, Jasmine Crockett, she's the greatest. She's wonderful. Act like an entire moral coward. To appeal to real alpha men, you have to be an alpha man. And then remember, he instantly got cowed by the accusations from the DNC that he should have been removed because of racial quotas. So what does he do? He goes on the Breakfast Club and essentially endorses a black crazy woman because he's a compliant little beta.
All right, Charlie. I don't know. Shout out Charlie Kirk. That was interesting. That was pretty interesting. I don't know. Charlie might not be the best person to relay that message, in my humble opinion, but I like Charlie a lot. Shout out to him. Now, here is Jasmine, the woman of the hour. Some of y'all like Jasmine. I know some of y'all do because I'll be seeing how y'all behave. Okay, so here's her on Jim Acosta's show talking about countless Republicans have come up to her and said that they really, really like her. All righty. And again, are y'all buying that? Are you not buying that? Let's go ahead and watch if you haven't seen it.
Republicans poll all the time, and I have no idea what all is happening in their polling, but
I can tell you in real life that I've had a number of Republicans that approach me as they see me out and they say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really like you. Like, we come from completely different parties, but I believe that you are fighting for the people. I believe that you are trying to do what's best for all of us. I may disagree with like how you feel like we get there, but I agree with your fight. And I think that that's what's scary for them, is this idea that it's not just, say, Black folk that are listening to me, right? Republicans poll all the time. And I have.
So what do y'all think? Because right there, what she was saying was is white guys will come up to her and say that they like her. So what do y'all think? You think she's telling the truth? I think she's probably telling the truth. Some are going to say that they like her because what happens is she has become very popular and they're going to see her on the internets and TV a lot. And they're going to find the things that she says entertaining or at least worth watching the video. They're going to get entertainment value from that, but it's not like, anything else, in my humble opinion. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll right now. I think we get the idea. No matter of fact, I'll let it go for a little while longer. I'll let it go for about 2 more minutes. But you already see what the results are going to be for the most part. All righty. Now, here is Jasmine again talking about why Trump won the election. And again, I want to see if y'all disagree or agree with what she said.
The economy was.
Hold on, let me get it up on the screen right quick. And of course, that's April Ryan, if you didn't know, former White House reporter, if I'm not mistaken.
The economy was the reason the Donald Trump won the election. It was supposed to be about fraud, waste, and abuse. Donald Trump won the election on the economy, but look at what's happening right now.
I mean, I hear you. I'm not going to say all the reasons he won. I think he won more so because there was a lack of education out there for people to truly understand how things work, right? Like, people being frustrated about the inflation that we did endure and that we still were kind of suffering the remnants of, didn't necessarily fully understand or want to understand that it was a global inflation that we were struggling with because of the global pandemic, because we live by global supply chains. Now, I think people are getting educated in the moment, right?
The economy.
So her thing is, in my humble opinion, she is trying to dismiss our complaints about the migrants by saying that the migrants had to be here because of the inflation. The problem is that these jobs existed before all the migrants came. During Trump's term, these jobs existed. What happened? Like, what they did was, on the left, especially the Uniparty, particularly in DC, they mismanaged COVID. California, especially places like that, they mismanaged COVID. But the mismanagement was shutting stuff down at all and then shutting it down for a long time in the blue places like California. That hurt the economy. And that's your excuse to flood us with a bunch of illegal aliens. We see what the plan is. We see what the plan was. We didn't like it, so we went the other direction. You take us for idiots in this country, and we're not. We're not. Some of us are. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's not the majority of us, in my humble opinion. The idiocracy I see comes from people like Jasmine Crockett, people that are in office right now. Okay, you got a picture of yourself up on your wall in the back if you can't see. Okay, a picture of yourself up on the wall. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? That's not who I want to have in office. Now, somebody said something. I missed it. Somebody says, I'm better than that. What did I do? Did I say something wrong in the last clip? And let me know. And anyway, the poll, I'm going to go ahead and end that. That was a silly poll. So the poll, of course, 92% say they would not marry Jasmine Crockett. 7% of y'all, nasty boys, said you would. So shout out to y'all. And that is 292 votes. So a little bit of quick math, 7%, 300. That's a few of y'all that said that y'all would, probably about 20 years old, said y'all would do something. Y'all nasty. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about nasty, okay, now I'm not going to show nothing crazy. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to skim through this a little bit because I don't want nothing crazy to pop up. Yeah, be good. So, Glenn Greenwald. Have you heard about Glenn Greenwald? Glenn Greenwald is, I guess, some kind of conservative journalist. Listen, I've seen this name before on certain things, but I don't know who he is really. So y'all got to fill me in. Glenn Greenwald is a journalist, apparently conservative. He's been on Tucker Carlson. He's been on Fox probably. He's like a well-known guy. Now, the thing about him is that he's openly gay. Glenn Greenwald, openly gay. So what happened was a sex tape came out and it looks crazy. Now, look, I saw some of this, but what I saw was not a sex tape, but it was nasty. Actually, yeah, it was kind of a sex tape because of what he was doing. I mean, I won't get into detail, but the dude got some. What I saw wasn't really shocking. I think that's what most of these gay guys are doing anyway. The first sign that he was into that kind of behavior is that he's gay. So you got some conservatives talking about some moral hand-wringing. Oh, this is so bad because he's a degenerate. He wants to adopt children. I'm like, bro, he said he was gay. So why are you surprised now that he's doing gay things on camera? That's what they do. I don't understand. I don't really get it. You get a pet coyote in your house and then you're mad that the coyote bit you. It's a pet coyote. It's a wild animal. It's going to do that. That's what it's supposed to do. You got a gay dude, openly gay. Yeah, he's going to be in the videotape doing weird things with a man because he's gay. Anyway, here's a video on that without all the extra stuff.
So last night, an intimate tape involving award-winning journalist Glenn Greenwald was leaked to the public, apparently depicting some kind of intimate financial domination fetish. What that is, I don't know. I don't care. And for those of you who don't know, Greenwald was the one who broke the Edward Snowden leaks 11 years ago, which a lot of people were not happy about him doing. And let's just say there might be some other people who are now upset about Glenn's recent reporting, which I'll get into in a second. Now, Glenn responded this morning with this message on Twitter saying that he has, quote, no embarrassment or regret, that the actions displayed are fully consensual, nobody was harmed, which I 100% agree with. As long as nobody's getting hurt, people's private lives are just that, private. He also added that the publication of these videos are, quote, criminal and malicious, and that they are politically motivated, but also that he does not yet know who is responsible. But interestingly enough, this morning, Tucker Carlson drops a 2-hour interview with Glenn Greenwald where they discuss at length this topic. If you know, you know. Not making any outright accusations, but the timing is apropos, is all that I'll say. And one last thing, this headline is absurd. Not only does it casually throw out the term wiki freak, which has some connotation behind it, I have to say, also insinuating that there's some kind of incongruence between being a free speech warrior and also saying that the leak of his intimate tape was criminal. Like, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but being a free speech warrior is not antithetical to calling a crime a crime. Just had to say that.
All right, there you go. So, do y'all know who Glenn Greenwald is? Do y'all know who that is? I did not really know too much about him before this. But ultimately, I mean, people are asking me, talking about some, oh, do you denounce his degeneracy? I'm like, what degeneracy? The tape or him being gay? Because I don't see it as no different. I don't see it as no different. The things that were on the tape align with what I think being gay is. So if you accepted him for being gay, then why is it all of a sudden now an issue that he had the tape out? I don't get it. I think maybe they think that gay dudes be just playing Xbox and stuff like that. And that's it. I mean, come on. We saw monkeypox outbreak in this country and it was only them. And then what happened? I called it out. It's an STD because NBC News said it was an STD. Monkeypox, that is. And it was among gay men. And after a certain period of time, kids and dogs got monkeypox who lived in the same household with gay people. And when that happened, the story went away. So if you see that going on and then you see this tape and you're like surprised, you've not been paying attention, in my humble opinion. Now, he knew he was on camera because he was getting filmed like he was looking right in the camera. He looked right in the I saw some of it. He looked right in the camera. He wasn't getting hunched over. He was just doing some other kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't want to get into it. Some of y'all are curious. Like, hey, what was he doing? What was the position? Y'all are nasty. But anyway, so speaking about LGBT, here's Pete Buttigieg talking about, look, the idea of being able to talk to people in the country, the idea of talking to men in this country, because one thing the Democrats notice is that they do not understand how to speak to men in this country. So they're trying to spend money to figure that out. And maybe Pete Buttigieg wants to give his 2 cents on it. I don't think he would know any better than they do, but let's watch.
Look, I mean, there's, Democrats have created this impression, I think partly because of the way we feel and talk about Trump, have created this impression that translates into the way we feel and talk about people who supported him. And that's the thing that I think really is a cultural struggle in our party. There's this sense of condescension. I mean, if I hear one more time, like a well-off liberal doctor or lawyer saying, that quote unquote, these folks are voting against their economic interests, I just wonder whether they ever contemplated the fact that somebody could turn around and say, so are you. There's a condescension that is imputed to Democrats that I think we really need to deal with. So much of politics is not just how you make people feel, but how you make people feel about themselves.
Nah, they thought this guy would succeed as a president in 2020? They thought he would have a good chance. No. And you know what? Hold on. I gotta show you this because so the Democrats,
to your point,
they had some kind of meeting already about how to speak to men. They already had the meeting, and I want to show you what they had at the meeting. This is how out of touch they are. Shout out to Bill Maher for this. This is how out of touch Democrats are when it comes to speaking to men in this country. Let's watch.
The Ritz-Carlton at Half Moon Bay, south of San Francisco.
Hold on, I gotta start from the top because you got to get the full thing.
This is the new movement by the Democratic Party. They lost the men vote a lot last time, so they had a meeting up at the Ritz-Carlton at Half Moon Bay, south of San Francisco. I'm not making this up, where they served mini lobster rolls and had heirloom tomato carpaccio and seared sea bass.
What is carpaccio? I don't even know what that is. So if there is some kind of meeting and talk to men and they say, you know what are we going to put on the menu? Carpaccio. What that mean? What's that? Hamburgers, hot dogs. Like, see, they don't understand men. They don't get it. They don't, it's not connecting.
In their conclave to decide how to win back the American man. Now, look.
It's because we used to have conferences at Harvard to figure out what the working class needs, and so now we're, we're moving west.
You got to own who you are. I get it. These are the mini lobster roll people. But they had this symposium, and we got a hold of what was this is speaking with American men. This is a real thing that they're doing.
Oh, really? Is that a real? Hold on. Y'all see this? The front cover is hilarious with the plaid, the matching plaid shirts. That's Brokeback Mountain right there.
And they have these seminars. Would you like to hear what was some of the? Okay. These are ways that they.
Now, I think this might have just been a bunch of nonsense right here. This was not really real. They were just kind of playing. But at the end of the day, yeah, the Democrats have no idea how to talk to men. All they're going to do is be able to make jokes on their late night shows and stuff like that, but they have no clue. All right. Now, here's another guy that wants to try to get in on it. You got Don Lemon, still 2025, talking about blame the white man. Although you're married to a white man, still blame the white man, right?
Remember he had the Muslim ban?
Yes.
And I said, well, why isn't anybody trying to ban white guys from this country? And you would have thought that I had, cut off, a left, or I had taken their firstborn kid or whatever for telling the truth and what the statistics were showing with the FBI data. Why do you think that these white dudes, these white guys are so triggered? Why are they such snowflakes and they claim other people are?
Okay, well, he didn't answer the question right there, just a short clip. But come on, Don. Like, it's over, man. People are not trying to hear that anymore. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, especially when you're married to a white man, though. That's just, And they're always like that. The most pro-black, blackity black, 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 white man at home, white woman at home, always, always. Set your clock to it. And I've shown that over and over again on this channel. Who else is one of them? The lady that has the show. What's the name of that show? Abbott Elementary. What's her name? Keita. Yeah, she was married to a white man. Now they got divorced. And then the divorce was the reveal of the white man, which was hilarious. But anyway, here is CNN talking about the same issue, talking to men.
Practice for one new $20 million effort obtained by the Times aims to reverse the erosion of Democratic support among young men, especially online. It is codenamed SAM, short for Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, and promises investments to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and the virility in these spaces. It recommends buying advertisements in video games, among other things. So you're the man here. I will not mansplain you. All I will say is, duh.
Yeah, I know. Look, they should have probably recognized this a couple of cycles before when this trend was growing very apparent. This was a huge problem for them in the past election cycle, and they need to figure it out because right now the Democratic message is really all over the place.
Respect is for.
But see, the problem is, okay, you could buy ads in video games. You could do obvious things like that. Okay, you want to buy an ad in Call of Duty or something like that. Okay, cool. But at the same time, you have to get down to the core of the problem, which is how men are treated as boys, K through 12, college, workplace, public life, everything, family court, everything. You got to get through all of that. Putting an ad on Call of Duty ain't really going to fix it. $20 million ain't enough money. Because you got to fix all these different systems that have been designed to marginalize men in favor of women. Because when you got feminism, when you have the advent of feminism, all that did was make women more autonomous at the expense of men's place in society. And since there's like a lack of a balance, now we got a problem with men. And that money you're trying to push forward won't fix it. You're trying to just do some marketing, but you're not trying to fix the actual problem, which marketing cannot solve. You cannot solve it with marketing. You need to just get some structural change in society to fix the problem. But hey, if they don't want to do that, that's fine because they're the Democratic Party, and that's why we don't want to vote for them. It's okay. It's totally okay. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's Chuck Todd talking about Democrats marginalizing men for 15 years, specifically the white male voter. He says that the white male voter has been marginalized for 15 years. Now, here's my question before I play it. Do y'all agree, disagree? Has it been 15 years? Has it been 0 years? Has it been longer than 15 years? 25, 30? When did the white male marginalization start in this country? Y'all let me know. Here is Chuck Todd.
We're having to use anthropologists to figure out how to appeal to young white men. How do we talk to this strange and breed of American citizen that we've never wanted their vote before, but now we do? Sorry, I don't have that New York Times article, the Project Sam. You're like, are we sure this is not an Onion article or a Babylon Bee article?
Project Sam, and I think the SAM is an acronym, speaking with men, or speaking with adult men, SAM. They could have said swam, but that might not really be what you want.
Right? Like it's right out of it. It is laughable, but I'll tell you, they did this. I remember a staff member of mine, I told this with Saliza earlier today. Man, I remember a staff member, this was during fall of 16. Hillary Clinton was doing a rally and it was like, I'm going to be the president for African Americans and Latino Americans. And she just went down the list, right? You just pick your identity group and she went down, young American, da, 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 da. And my staffer goes, well, she doesn't want my vote. She didn't ask for my vote. I mean, he's a white male.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for any man. The only, and so it was just sitting there going, and now you're like, oh, we've got a problem. Well, you spent 15 years essentially ignoring that vote. And in fact, not only ignoring it, interest groups going out of their way to marginalize that demographic group. And then you're shocked when that demographic group doesn't think the Democratic Party wants them to be members.
There you go. So, all right, Chuck Tide, look at you. Hold on. Wait a minute, Chuck Tide. What? Chuck Tide. Okay. Standing up for the white man. I like that, Chuck. Yeah. That's what I like. Liberal white guys from backbone. I like that a lot, man. We need more of that in this country. More of that in this country. Liberal white guys that can stand up for themselves and say, hey, this, y'all are dumb. Y'all are idiots. This ain't the right thing to do. I like that a lot. Chuck Tide. Chuck Tide might mess around and, hey, he might, by the time he get to be 70 years old, be a conservative finally. Why not? Why not? Okay, now here's Chuck Tide again, though, because, see, I give him something. Hey, I give him a little bit of credit when he does good. Good Chuck Tide. But here is an example of bad Chuck Tide.
I do.
All righty, here he is on Piers Morgan. We got a panel with 85 people on it. Hold on, let me just zoom in a little bit better so you're able to see Piers and everybody. Okay, you got a panel, 85 deep. And here he is talking about Joe Biden's decline, the cognitive decline that everybody knew and everybody was covering up. Let's watch.
I do think the media are culpable too. And I do think if it had been Trump, there would have been an absolute frenzy to get to the bottom of any cognitive issues if he was face planting.
Is there a frenzy now, though, Pierce? We've got a president. If I told you a president doesn't sleep at night and instead tweets crazy stuff in the middle of the night, would you wonder if there was cognitive decline? Would you say
I tried to give him some credit. I really did. But see, come on, man. You take one step forward and 15 steps back, bro.
I would say about that.
Are they correctly covering this guy's manic behavior? Because his behavior in office.
Okay, so I would say
questionable.
Hang on.
Y'all are funny. Bad Tide. No bad. Yeah, exactly. Bad Tide.
Don't all talk at once. I would say to that, I've known Trump 20 years, and he's behaved in this kind of way for the entire time I've known him. In various, he used to behave like that.
I heard that defensive Biden.
In the Apprentice boardroom.
I heard that defensive Biden, Pierce. I've known Biden 20 years. He's always been misspeak.
Man, please stop playing. Come on, Chuck. Seriously. Joe Biden had obvious decline because he's 1,000 years old, which is not unheard of. You get to be that old. Some people can be very sharp at that age. My grandma's older than him, and she's still very sharp. Joe Biden, however, is not somebody who is able to be sharp at an advanced age, obviously, and that's the problem.
Speaking and stuff. So I'm just saying.
Well, I would say the difference.
I'm not going to go over my skis on either one of these guys.
Here's the difference, Chuck, I would say, is that Trump makes himself always available. He's always doing 2-hour rally speeches. He's doing endless huddles with the press, endless interviews. Okay. He's making himself.
But if the words are crazy, does that make it better?
I think it's a different kind of thing. You could say that Trump's a bit crazy, but I don't think you see evidence of cognitive decline. There's not
exactly
a lot of difference between Trump now than there was first time round in 2016-17. To me, watching him, I just think he's the same guy.
But let me bring it slower. Yeah.
All right, there we go. So that's Chuck Tide over on Piers Morgan. Like, come on, man. Like, everybody knew Joe Biden was a mess. Like, from the beginning, from 2020, we knew that he was in decline. Even before 2020, we knew he was in decline. Everybody knew he was in decline. That's why Joe did not really get the endorsement of Barack Obama. Did Obama ever endorse him? And if he did, it took him long enough. It took him a whole millennium to endorse the man because he knew that he wasn't going to be good. He knew that from the beginning. Okay, so here is Jake Tapper, the man with the book. Hey, this man is getting so much press from this book. I mean, good grief. Good grief. So let me get this straight. The mainstream media covered up Joe Biden's decline. Same thing, politicians. They cover up his decline, and now they write in the book about the cover up that they did. Hey, you know what? It's like O.J. Simpson. Well, I don't know who deleted her, but if I did, here's how I would do it, right by my book. Same thing with them. Hey, man, we didn't really cover it up, although we did cover it up. And here was what was covered up. Anyway, let's watch some of this. Again, you got Jake Tapper with friend, I'm not sure what that is, author perhaps, on Stephen A. Smith's show.
In terms of the left, it's a money grab. I mean, that's not the case. It's not. This is. I don't want to get into where my money comes from, but I'm. CNN is my main job, and that's where my main source of income by far. Very few people write books to make money. You write a book because you want to say something, you want to have a legacy, you want to uncover something, you have a message you want to get out there. I don't think people write books about Joe Biden to make money. We are gratified that people are buying this book.
That's a good point.
But I don't think. I mean, the idea that I would do this for money is it's silly and not.
Okay, y'all buying it? Do you think Jake Tapper is going on to? I've never seen the book get promoted this heavy before. I've never in my life seen such a thing. The tour is costing a lot of money. It can't. See now what you're doing is called gaslighting. It's called gaslighting. That's what that is. The same thing you did when you tried to cover it up in the begin with. So you're following the same script. Okay, we see Joe Biden looking like he's pretty much dead on his feet. Okay, a whole corpse. Weekend at Bernie's. Geppetto at best, a puppet at best. Reanimated from deceased, Men in Black, roach suit at best. We saw that on the campaign trail, and we saw that from 2020 to 2024, and we're seeing it right now still in 2025. And y'all said, hey, do not believe your own lying eyes. Now you want to say, hey, I've appeared on every podcast on planet Earth 5 times in 1 week because I ain't making no money. Please stop. Please stop. I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's not even do that. Let's not even do that. Okay. So here's Jake talking about on another podcast. Hey, this might have been the 5th podcast that hour that he was on. He's saying that he hates both parties right here. But if he hates both parties, who do you think he likes the most? Democrats or Republicans?
I didn't vote for Biden or Trump. I can't stand either party, to be quite honest. That wasn't a bias of mine in terms of shaping my reporting. But like, what was shaping my reporting was, I think the fact that like there were just a lot of people lying to us. And
who was lying to you though, Jake? Who was lying to you?
I should have just been more skeptical about the fact that they were lying to us. But there were just so many people on the inside, and so many Democratic legislators and so many members of the cabinet and everything that were just completely gaslighting the country.
There go the gaslighting right there. So you know what that's what you're doing, Jake. You are the gaslighter. Hey, guys like this, man. Okay, so look. Oh, this was funny. Remember they're talking about cheap fakes. Remember that? Hold on. I gotta show you guys this because this was crazy. I almost did a video on it, but you probably weren't gonna watch it. So cheap fakes. Remember they were trying to say certain videos were what they call cheap fake. I'm gonna let this person explain it, and then I'm gonna show what Jake Tapper said about it. This was funny. I believe I covered this back when they were saying it. I'm like, really? Cheap fake? Let's let her explain it.
We just brought you CBS News confirms new reporting on fake videos of President Biden that are being referred to as cheap fakes. So let's bring in our political panel, Megan Hayes and Matt Mowers. Megan served as the director of message planning for the Biden administration, and Matt worked on the Trump 2016 campaign and also worked as a senior advisor for the former president. Hello to you both. Thank you so much for being here. Matt, I'll start with you. You know, what makes these videos and images so insidious is it isn't just anonymous social media users who are putting them out there. It's the New York Post. It's the Republican National Committee who are disseminating these things, and that lends them an air of authenticity. Should the RNC...
All right, this isn't the right video. Basically, because she's not typical media, they don't really get to the point. A cheap fake is a video that's real but removed from context. That's what they wanted to say. And an example of this would be the parachuter situation So remember when Joe Biden was over, what was that, G7? He was in Italy, and all the world leaders are meeting in one place. Biden goes and wanders off from the leaders, and you have Giorgia Meloni, the Italian prime minister, having to go get him and bring him back to the... They were saying that was a cheap fake because if you only showed one angle of it, you didn't see what he was doing in the background. So that's what a cheap fake is. Let me see if I can find that particular news clip, because in that one, it didn't even show it. Because and what was funny is that was the same lady who reported the actual video I'm talking about, but they didn't show
beginning of
it didn't show it just now, which is what they do. So let me explain. Okay.
Cheap fake clips went viral on social media and were picked up by some news outlets. Take a look at this clip, for example. It shows Biden and other world leaders watching a skydiving demonstration before the president is seen walking away and looking in another direction. Outlets claimed that he was sort of just aimlessly wandering away. The clip amassed millions of views within just a few hours, when actually if you widen out, you can see that he was talking to one of the members of the military that was participating in that demonstration.
So this whole narrative was what they were fed from the Biden administration. They were told to say this. The media were told to say this, okay? Now, I'm going to show you that video in question. Okay, I'm going to show you the video in question so you're able to see what's going on. Hold on. So you see the guy came in. Okay. Now, he is deciding to look over there, but he's supposed to be with the world leaders. Now he's just going to walk away. I'm going to turn the sound down. Now he's just walking over toward what the actual event was. Why are you going over there? Why are you going over there? Come on, man. You're in the wrong place. Go back over there. Okay, come on. Come on. All right. So they're trying to say because in one video you didn't see the paratrooper, that means it's fake. Let me just show you what they uncovered. All right.
Days before the catastrophic debate that we've been talking about, the New York Times came out with a story labeling that the clips of Biden looking sort of lost and disoriented, this was a news story, were cheap fakes.
I have a good story about this. So when we were reporting the book,
so, okay, we got Jake Tapper again, and the guy next to him is the author of Original Sin, which is the book that Jake Tapper has out.
I remember talking to fairly senior White House person, and they basically admitted, like, yes, he was bad. Yes, we shouldn't have run him again. Yes, like, he was really struggling. But they sort of got in my face. They were like, you guys, like, bought some of our spin. And they specifically mentioned the cheap fake stuff. They were like, this person was like, we could not, at least they were speaking for themselves. They were like, I could not believe we got those stories placed.
So somebody from the White House told him that they placed those stories in the media and they were surprised that the media actually bought it. We didn't buy it. That tells you how dumb the media is and or how thirsty they are to try to cover up what's going on with Joe Biden. We knew what it was. We knew all of that stuff was fake, talking about, oh, it's a cheap fake. No, it's not. I saw him do it on camera. It's not a fake video. It's a real thing. It's not out of context. Like, he did wander off. But the media were probably fed a bunch of stories like that from the administration, and they want us to believe it. Like, we're just idiots. The same thing with the cocaine in the White House. They probably know exactly who that cocaine belongs to. Listen, do you think you're going to get on the grounds of the White House with cocaine on you and don't nobody know nothing about where it came from or who had it? Please be serious. Please be, look, the surveillance that they got access to is beyond what you even know. They know exactly who that cocaine belonged to. But they didn't want to arrest anybody. They didn't want to say it. Probably Hunter, he got on camera beam to Scotty, and nothing happened. So why would he bring cocaine to the White House and get arrested? He could have hit the powder right in front of the Oval Office on camera and not get in trouble. So he wasn't going to get in trouble for the cocaine being on the ground. A lot of stories like that, Hunter Biden, if I didn't say it, Hunter Biden had the cocaine. If this didn't tell you just how much they'll lie to you, then nothing will. The famous painter, exactly. Yeah, you painting scribble scrabbles and getting paid $500,000. All right. Tell me anything. Tell me that Hunter Biden is such a fantastic artist that he's worth more than Vincent Van Gogh. I mean, let's be serious. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, one more. So Biden would get lost in his closet. He would get lost in his closet in the morning. Now, look, I don't know how. I'm going to just play this.
Listen, I'll tell you something that I haven't said before because it came from a Secret Service whistleblower this past year. I talked to so many of them after the attempted assassinations of President Trump. But this Secret Service whistleblower actually was assigned to Biden, and he told me that Biden used to get lost in his closet in the mornings in the White House. I mean, the guy literally stumbling around in the White House residence couldn't find his way out of his own closet. The president of the United States. I mean, this is outrageous. We were lied to. And listen, I'll tell you something.
Get lost in the closet. But, I mean, we see Biden get lost everywhere. He get lost on stage. He get lost behind the actual podium. It was a mess. All of what we said throughout the entire presidency, it's just being revealed. But Cat Williams say all lies are going to get exposed. All lies will be exposed. All righty. I think do I have any more? I think it might be it. Let's get to some calls here. Let's get to a few calls. The number to call, 434. The number to call is 706-406-3287. There we go. 706-406-3287. Let's get rocking and rolling here. And before we get to that, we got super chats on deck. All righty. Hold on. Where we at? Thank you to Hammerhead716 who says, way to go, ABL. Tell us how you really feel. Hey, man, I got to tell you how I feel for real. Thank you, Retro AI, for sending 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to True North, who says, seems stupid to think Elon will be in forever because after a specific time, he's going after Trump. I'm not sure what you mean. You mean like he's going to try to be the president? I don't know about that one. Being from South Africa, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, I didn't even talk about Elon. But yeah, the whole thing about Elon being out, the media want to hop on that like it's really something. It's nothing. It was going to be a certain amount of time he was there temporarily, and that's it. But the media wanted to make him really be this villainous figure, the same way they did with Trump. They wanted to create a new Trump with Elon. And I don't think they were that successful because he's not going to be there forever. So are you just going to keep hounding him after he's out of the position and just say how bad he is? It's weird. They kind of put themselves in a weird place because people have all these things that Elon Musk was able to give them. I mean, the main thing is the Tesla. They got these Tesla vehicles all over the place. And now what you going to do? Trade it, give it away, and get no money for it? All right. Thank you to True North again, who says, well, Elon was going after government corruption and wasteful spending. Trump is spending how Americans want. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, I voted for a businessman, not a grifter. Look at the progress America already has. Right on. Thank you to True North for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, sorry to inform you, the Bible says the poor you will have with you always. Exactly. Always. Thank you to True North again, who says, bro is wearing a cape and wants to be taken serious. they got from earlier. Peter Pan, Robin Hood, whatever his name was. Thank you to Flying Noogle, who says, ABL, you rock. Thank you for that, boss. Appreciate you. Thank you to Brian Henderson, who says, Walrus Man can't tell me that I should be losing my vote because I'm a conservative. I would say stupid people need to be revoked from voting and illegals. Thank you to It's Lanita, who says, I ran track. My daughter runs track and swims. If I see a twig and berries, I'm coming to get her. Never in my life would I have thought I would see this trash. It's crazy, ain't it? It's totally crazy. I am 100% against it. I'm a die on that hill. Men should never be in women's sports at all, period. I don't care how they feel. I don't care what they believe. I don't care what their religion, their zodiac sign. I don't care nothing about that. At the end of the day, you're a male. Twig and berries, XY, go over there. That's what I say. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, keep dudes out of women's sports. Exactly. Thank you to Kaish Parchman, who says, Antifa showed up at the high school and were attacking people. Thank you to Flying Eagle for a super chat emoji donation. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, the president is a master negotiator. I don't understand people who love America. I don't understand people. We love America. So does he, MAGA. Thank you to J Flo, who says, appreciate you, ABL. Shout out to Sheree. Right on. Thank you to Cardinal Flanagan, who says, message to employers, don't hire illegals unless next time you will be walking out and cuss whip behind them. So I think the whole thing about the raid on a job site in Florida from ICE, that's to send a message like, okay, y'all using these illegal aliens, we're not going to tolerate that, and we will come to the work site and arrest them. And that also tells illegal aliens like, yo, okay, you want to come do these jobs and these work sites, well, we're going to come round you up if you are right here. So you best not do it. Thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says Crockett is actually well off, highly educated. She just plays ghetto. Thank you to Dan Vicious, who says he's not conservative, long time liberal. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says the Dems still don't know how to speak to real men, only fake men and beta men. Exactly. Thank you to Kiwan, who says fought for feminism, now begging for the male vote. Exactly. Funny how that works, ain't it? Hey, let's boost up the women, and now we lost the men. So now we got to go do what, meninism or something like this, right? To get back to equilibrium. Thank you to Kaius Parchman for the sunglasses emoji. I appreciate you for that, boss. And let's get to some calls. The number to call again, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker and the description box if you do not remember. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. And there we go. I got to turn that on. Hold on. All right, we on 706. There we go. 559, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick, California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, good, man. Yeah, being a California resident, I'm troubled to say the least about what's going on in these sports, the CIF and the colleges and everything recently. This very loud but minor, very insignificant group of individuals who are taking away our rights piece by piece, one by one. Now they expect us to give our sovereignty over to them with sports when they already have entire districts named after them. They have an entire month of our year named after them. And now they want to try and take our souls next. President, if I can use your platform, ABL, to speak to President Trump for just a brief moment, because I know that he does listen to your program periodically. President Trump, we need you to come to California and fight for this state and for this country, because, sir, whether you realize it or not, the battle for the entire nation is right here in California. And so anyway, ABL, have you ever been so frustrated you can hardly even think? That's how I am right now with this.
I mean, yeah, I totally understand, man. I really do.
Yeah. So anyway, ABL, hey, you know what? I appreciate the time as always, sir. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's rough out here. California, it's a mess. And the whole thing about men and women's sports, I didn't think that it would get this bad. I thought I might just be a one-off here and there, but it's like consistently. Now it's just regular to have men and women's sports, and it shouldn't be that way. 215 here online. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, Anthony Brian Logan. I finally got through.
Yes, sir.
Can you properly hear me?
I hear you well, boss.
All right. So I wanted to tell you, so honestly, I know there's been a few videos out there, and I'm pretty sure you probably done videos on it. But of course, I've seen that Democrats are obviously losing a lot of support, especially after this last election. But there was a protest down in Philadelphia, at least like a month ago or 2 months ago. And I talked to a lot of they were like Palestinian supporting left-leaning people. And they said to me straight up, they're trying to start their own party because they said they don't like the Republicans, but they said they can't trust the Democrats anymore because they said all the Democrats do is tell them what they want to hear and don't do nothing for them.
Okay. I mean, the thing about it is there's more than two parties in the country. But the problem is, okay, you have to be able to caucus with people. You got to be able to have connections with people to get things done. So you got a party. Okay, who's going to be in your party? Are you guys going to have any power? So I get the frustration, but look at it from a realistic point of view. Who's going to be in your corner and how are you going to get anything done? And also, if you start a new party, what's the purpose and goal of your party? What are you going to actually accomplish?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because they said they seem like they were extremely frustrated with Democrats, and they're slowly trying to move away from them. I feel like they just have to keep because it's like I don't like the whole argument when people say they don't vote because they're losing faith in voting because voting doesn't work. It does work. You just got to get the right people in office. Anybody can portray themselves as this and that. But I think the problem is a lot of people don't do their research and they're easily fooled.
Well, the question is, okay, if they say voting doesn't work, what do they want voting to do exactly? What do they want it to do? Because some things they want voting to do is not going to be solved by voting. Okay, if somebody doesn't have any money, they're broke. And they have no skills. Well, voting for somebody won't make you become skilled. So it all depends on what they say voting doesn't work to do. In some cases, they're correct. Voting cannot help you get more skills.
Yeah. And that's what I did when I talked to a woman I used to talk to. She was a Democrat. And she was like, at the end of the day, how is my life getting better by voting for these people? And I'm looking at her like, and in what sense? Because under Trump's administration, I did well. Under Biden's administration, I struggled a little bit, but I still did. Sorry about the noise, but I still did well under Biden because I got off my butt. I got out and was still productive and did what I needed to do at the end of the day. So it's like at the end of the day, yeah, it was harder when Biden was in office, but I mean, I believe in the saying, life is what you make of it. If you choose to sit around and not do nothing, you're not going to get nothing out of life.
Exactly, 100% correct.
Exactly, and what you put into life is what you get out of it. So it doesn't matter who's the president at the end of the day. It's all about what you put into life and what you get out of it. So the fact that she's waiting for the government to do something for her, I said, okay, so it sounds like this is just a person with the victim mentality that just don't want to do nothing. And honestly, you know what I've noticed about a lot of Biden supporters? I'm going to just say this before. Now, I'll just say this last thing. One thing I've noticed about a lot of people who voted for Biden, a lot of them really don't want to work. Like, a lot of them were one of the people who really wanted to just live off the system.
Yeah, I mean, I see quite a bit of that. I see a lot of these TikToks and whatnot. People talking about, oh, I don't want to do anything. It's like, man, that ain't going to get it done, man. Like, just because you live in a rich country doesn't mean you could just do nothing. You got to do something. And if you do nothing in this country, you're not going to be able to fully enjoy the experience as other Americans can.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed about it. Because it's like, I want to agree with some of these people on like, oh, the rich this, the rich that. But when I hear that kind of argument, I feel like it's just them. They're just being lazy, and they want to be rewarded for doing nothing, while the rich are actually out there grinding day and night, and they're just sitting around complaining. That's how I look at them as, and I want to agree with them, but it's like it's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a blessed night.
Same to you, boss. All right, shots one, man. Great call. Let's go to 859 on the line. How much speaker to?
Pause. Oh, yo, what's up, ABL? How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just doing order. Just listening to your show at the same time. And what was that one politician who got caught with a sex tape? What's his name again?
Well, the guy I showed earlier was a journalist, not a politician. His name is Glenn Greenwald.
Yeah, and they're surprised that they do that. Look, I mean, leave the stuff in the bedroom. I get it. I can see why he would be embarrassed by it, and like, I get it. But they're so surprised that he has a private life. I'm like, oh my god! If they're so shocked that he does what he does in the bedroom, huh? 1 second. I'm sorry, what was that?
All right, bro. We can't be like taking orders and stuff I'm like, hey man, you got about 5 seconds. You had to drive through. Hey, let me get a number 2. Yeah, there you go. I didn't hang up. That was him. All right. You working, boss. You know, you in between your orders. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. It's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. Just want to touch 2 subjects real quick and let everybody else talk. Dogs and false accusations and stuff, right? Okay. I love dogs, right? And I ain't going to spend millions of dollars on a dog. I ain't going to spend more on a dog's health care. I'm 64 years old. I ain't never brushed a dog's teeth in my life. Maybe I'll get him some milk-bone dog biscuits. Let the biscuits brush the dog's teeth. But I just got investigated for cruelty to animals because I adopt one of the top AKC breeders on Long Island. Breeds Bavarian Rottweilers, and he only breeds them 2-3 times. That's it. He's done, and then he adopts out the females and right. So I normally used to keep 2 of those dogs at a time at my house, and they just lived here, and they were my buddies, and you know they're just sweethearts. But anyway, Sally, she's like 12 years old, almost 12 years old. They don't live but 8 to 10 years max. She looked like a zombie dog, Anthony, but she was such a sweetheart. She wasn't in pain. I wouldn't have spent no money. She's a good dog. It's the same as taking your wallet and setting it on fire. It's not going to change anything. The dog's old. It only took the animal control lady about 30 seconds, and she looked at her and said, "Forgive me," and she left. But yeah, that's about the dogs there. I mean, yeah, my dogs have rabies shots, distemper, all that stuff, but no, I ain't spending no $2,000 on a vet business. That's all inflated garbage for people that just don't take time enough to read a book. Bavarian Rottweilers are raised in Bavaria outside with the livestock. You don't have to train a Rottweiler to attack. Actually, they're sweethearts. They don't want to. But the animals that they're raised with are part of their pack, and they protect their pack. They also are very rough and aggressive animals like rugby players. So when they herd the animals, they use their bodies and crash into them. So they're very robust dogs. But they're big babies, and they're great with kids. They're very protective. So you don't need an aggressive dog. As a matter of fact, why would you want an aggressive dog? Because it's an insurance liability in the courtroom. And that's all I got to say about the dogs. But yeah, if you think you're a transgender, I'm sorry, you have mental issues. If you're a child with transgender issues, your mother has mental issues. What's the purpose of men's sports or women's sports if we're just going to let men come in and take over?
Exactly.
What's the point? Ladies, come on, I'm on your side. I got a 16-year-old daughter. How do you want to settle this? You tell us. We'll take care of it. It's on you. You got to do it. We will stand behind you 100%, ladies. They don't belong there. And, I'm going to close with that, Anthony. You take care. God bless you. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. You know how I got in so much trouble and got banned off Facebook and all that stuff? I finally figured it out.
Okay.
I went to Russia twice in 2017, right? And I spent 6 months in Russia working on the Russian airliner, right?
Okay.
Well, through Facebook, FBI agents, through high school classmates and stuff, joined my friends list.
Of course.
So when they were broadcasting live on Facebook during the stolen election on January 6th, I was watching the criminal FBI agents live feeds on Facebook. You blah, 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 beep, 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 and God bless you, ABL. I'll let you go with that. You're going to hang. We got the Wayback Machine. Anything that's online stays online. God bless you, ABL. God bless America.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. I appreciate him as always. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Let's go to, we'll stick it to 310. You're on the line.
Hey, ABL. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man.
Saturday.
oh, it's all good. What's happening?
Oh, man, another big week, man. Our president, our beloved president, is still doing his thing, man. He's making America great. I tell you, nobody's talking about the great numbers that we had as far as like our economy is going on, the prices of things going down, and stocks going up, and all the money that he's bringing in, and yet we still got the liberal judges trying to stop him from deporting these people. They're just doing everything they can in order to try to not make America great. That's what it is. And the thing about it is this, as far as I see it, is that the more headway that he makes, his administration, the people that he's surrounded himself with, continue to make our country move forward, the more they hate it, because that means that the left power is being eroded. The fact that they're trying to reach out to men, not just white men, all men, because their agenda is not based on the protectors of men. This is what's happening with these people. They don't understand that we as men have a responsibility for our family, for ourselves, as well as our country. We have a responsibility, and the fact that we got these other men who would rather, erode the fabric of America, the fabric of society, and not holding on to the responsibilities. These are the things that's really eroding in our country. And another thing, and the fact that they're attacking these WIC people, the money, the food stamp giveaway. All these are things that people are crying about their money being eroded, that they had to work for their money. No, look, jobs are coming to America. You need to prepare yourself to get in the position of these jobs. The fact that they are frog marching the illegals out of here, the jobs that natural-born Americans could be doing, this is why we don't need no more of these here government handouts. You don't need no handouts. Go get yours. It is there to be gotten, but the thing about it, you got to sweat for it. You got to earn it. You got to get it. And in doing that, you would appreciate it. You will know why America is great, because we work for it. People, it's like what you were saying, about learning a trade. Yeah, AI might come and get these burger flipping jobs. They're going to have robots flipping the burgers and zipping out your fries. Okay, yeah, but they can't have you going ahead and wiring up that house, fixing that plumbing that house, fixing that HVAC, working on these cars. They take people to do that, and we need to learn and get these skills in order to do that. And this is what is needed in America today. People need to wake up, the youth, the young, even some of the old. I'm trying to learn something about this AI myself, as crusty as I am, trying to learn it so that I won't be left in the dark, won't be left ignorant on what's going on how to use these new technologies. Because I don't want to be left behind, even though I'm 70 years old, bro. You know what? But I want to be up on it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be up on it so I could talk to these young folks and tell them what they need to know, the best of my recollection, because nothing comes easy. Anything worth having is hard work. Just like what you did in order to build your platform, it wasn't easy. It was hard work. I remember you from the beginning, brother, and the thing about it is hard work that did it, and look at the fruits that you're receiving out of it. That's because of hard work. And America, that's what it's going to take. That is what it's going to take. Hard work. We can do it, America. Don't buy into this crap that the people are trying to sell us. God bless America. God bless you. God bless everybody in our country. We just keep praying for our country. Sanity is coming back. God bless us for coming back. Good night, brother.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Great call. Fantastic call as always. Let's go to 949. You're on the line. What's speaker to?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I got to stop laughing. Okay. 949, you're on the line. Because it's Marta from Menifee. I was just cracking up on the class comments. But I wanted to know, did you got a pay pig yet?
Excuse me?
Okay. On TikTok, there's this new thing going around called pay pig. You got to check it out. It's freaking hilarious. Do you know what it's about? Could you take a guess?
I know what it is.
I couldn't believe it though.
But I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait. I was like, excuse me, but yeah, pay pig. So for you guys that I know what it is. It's like
it's funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, gotcha. Yeah, right. No, shout out to everybody in the chat. Everything's going. It's like hell over here in California, and then if it gets freaking hotter than you know what. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. But you got to get yourself on that, man. You get on TikTok, get yourself a pay pig. You start earning some easy money.
I think not. I will be just fine.
All right, I'll let you go. Thanks. Good night. Love you.
Thank you for the call.
Talk
Appreciate
to you later. Bye.
All right. Hey, that was funny. That was unexpected. I was like, excuse me? I ain't know what to say because I know what that is. So I'm like, I ain't know how to process it. And if y'all don't know what that is, basically, pay pig is a guy that will pay women money for no reason. And it's like part of this whole culture that exists. That's kind of that's a little. I won't say it's X-rated, but it's a little kind of on that side. Glenn Greenwald probably got a pay pig. Put it to you that way. Anyway, let's go. 904. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Nikki from Florida.
All righty. What's happening?
Hey, man. Last time I called you, I said I'd 80 days sober or something. I'm over 90 days, almost 100 days sober now. So that's that.
Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And actually, you know what? You inspire me. And I think, first of all, you have a patience of a saint with some of these callers. But I just wanted to ask you one question. When is the official ABL workout and diet plan coming out? I know you already have the, you don't do drugs, you don't drink alcohol, and I love that about you. But just curious what you got to say about the workout and diet plan. That's all I got.
Thanks for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna answer his question. Okay, so he said that I inspired him. Well, he inspired me because I could write literally, I don't know if I could write a book quite yet on that, but I could write at least a guide on how to really do that. I could take you through it step by step. So my man, if you're listening to me, I'll break it down to you right now. This can be for somebody of any age. If you have mobility, you could do this. And you could do it with your level of mobility and your level of whatever. Okay. So what I would tell you is you need to be on your feet doing things. If you got grass, cut your own grass. Just cut it. Once a week, cut your own grass. That right there gives you some activity. Just cutting your grass. Rather than hiring somebody to do it. If you're able to get out there with the lawnmower, do it yourself. Do tasks around the house yourself. Park in the back of the parking lot. Walk up to the store. Don't circle around trying to find the closest space. Or park in the handicapped space when you're not handicapped. Again, This is for able-bodied people. If you got disabilities, you're in the wheelchair, whatever, this ain't for you. Okay, you may need a different program. If you're able-bodied, especially for the men, I want you to walk whenever you can. Don't take a shortcut when you're walking. Also, get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. Drugs and alcohol, don't do it. Eat nutritious foods. See, one thing about quote unquote healthy food is that I want you guys to eat nutritious. So, for example, a salad is not nutritious. Can I say that one more time? A salad is not nutritious. Iceberg lettuce, all you're doing is drinking water. And you're going to put dressing and croutons and bacon bits. Now you're putting processed food on top of your thing. A salad is not nutritious. I don't eat no salads. And I'm in great shape. I'm in real good shape. 40 years old, no salads. I've not had a salad in years. Salads to me are like a little side thing. A salad is like a little side, like it go with your meal. What I do every day for my diet, I eat brown rice, 1/4 cup brown rice, a fillet of salmon. So if you get salmon, like regular salmon from the store, let's say you go to somewhere like Publix, right? 2-inch center cut. That's my protein. Maybe 2.5 inch if I'm feeling a little bit hungry. 2.5 inch center cut rice. Bake that. Don't fry it and bake it. Avocado oil. Don't use vegetable oil. Use olive oil, avocado oil, stuff like that. Don't use seed oils. Okay? So tomatoes, avocados, rice, fish. That's my diet pretty much every day. Now, you can go to Chipotle. That's fine. But when you go to Chipotle, what I want you to do is to only eat certain things. Don't get no queso. Some of y'all are disgusting with your Chipotle meals. I'm going to tell you right now. I'll be at Chipotle watching y'all set up your meals, and I'm seeing the biggest bat creations you ever have created. It'd be a whole bowl full of queso with a little bit of chicken. Y'all eat no rice or beans. Look, I'm going to put on my bowl, I got brown rice, black beans, chicken, fajitas, pico, a little dab, Salt Bay, little dab of cheese, and I'm good. And some chips with it. My meal for the day, I'm straight right there. I could take that home, pair it with an avocado. Maybe I'm going to get some guac if I don't have no avocado. Pair it with an avocado, and I'm going to portion it out in bowls, and I'm going to eat it over a 45-minute window. That's how I eat. My only meal for the day. And then at night, maybe I have some trail mix, or after that, trail mix, a small piece of cake like that big. That's not a very sweet piece of cake. Like almost like bread, basically. Small piece if I want to have some kind of fancy thing. But normally, have my meal, peanuts or something like that, trail mix, okay, and a small dessert like that big. Palm of your hand, smaller than the palm of your hand, and you good. What some of y'all do is go to Chick-fil-A in the morning. No, y'all go to Starbucks in the morning. Off rip, 1,000 calories with no nutrition. Off rip, 1,000 calories with no nutrition. You know what? This is why I got to write a book on this. I can talk on this all night. The bottom line, as I move on to the next caller, I want you guys to consume calories that are nutritious. Don't eat empty calories or drink empty calories. Beer. That's why you got the big Gucci Man belly. Beer, Starbucks, 1,000 calories with no nutrition. I want you guys to eat nutrient-rich food. Produce section. Don't even go nowhere else. When I go to the grocery store, I beeline straight to the produce section. And I get stuff from right there. That's how I do. Oh, also, I drink a lot of orange juice, cranberry juice, and, of course, coconut water, regular water. That's what I normally drink. Yeah. And what else did I have? Maybe some like grapefruit juice, maybe. Grapefruit juice. And I'm talking about not Sunny Delight, Florida orange juice. They come in the carton. They come in something that's like this, but a bigger thing. The carton. Florida orange juice. Get that. Cranberry juice, if you can, get organic. If you get the little blend, that's okay. The blend is okay. That's all right. The little ocean spray blend is all right. But if you can, get the organic. And you good. Okay. So again, I can write a book on that. But let's get to the next call. 661, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
John.
All righty, what's happening?
Not much, man. I'm out here in California.
Right on, man. Belly of the beast, huh?
Well, let me turn this down here. I've lived out here all my life, and every year the immigrants get worse and worse. And California is the armpit of the nation as far as bringing all these less than desirable people into our country.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem because they come from certain parts of the world where customs are different, and also they may have been prisoners in their country of origin, and their country said, yeah, they say, okay, we're going to free our prisons and stop taking care of y'all. Y'all go to America and terrorize them.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, and it shows up here. And the reason why I called in, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller, and a few months back, I was in a Food Max, local grocery store, and I had a couple carts ahead of me in the line, and me and my wife were waiting, and a few more come up, and they jump in front of us and tell me no hablo inglés. When I try to tell them he can't jump in line, and well, they were all involved with the same group. So after they got done with their shopping, which was mostly meats and a lot of sodas, we followed them out in the parking lot after we got done with our shopping, and they went directly to a taco truck. They paid with welfare to buy all that shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry. To buy all that food. And that was devastating to me. My tax dollars are going to that kind of stuff, and they're over there making money on the side of the road selling food. Well, anyway, I don't want to hold you up long. I know you got much more callers. But you have a great day, and love you, ABL. Keep up the fight, bud.
Will do, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Yeah, man. I feel your frustration with the illegal aliens and the welfare monies. It's like what happened in Ohio with the Haitians, where they had the magic cards that would never run out. They could just buy whatever they wanted, and that's straight from your taxpayer revenue. But then they say they're coming over here to be productive, but yet they need our money to be productive. Make that make sense. We spent $450 billion with a B per year every year on the migrants during Biden's time in office. So I'm not a mathematician. We're talking about almost $2 trillion with a T. Almost $2 trillion with a T. We spent on them in just not 2 years, 4 years. So yeah, shout out to my man for the call. Let's go to one more. 830, you know line, who am I speaking to?
ABL, how you doing? This is Trucker 0172.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I heard your speech on nutrition. You need to give that speech every time.
Oh, really?
The reason why I say that is because I have cancer, and the thing that they stressed was food. And, eating good food and don't eat the processed food. So I had to relearn how to go shopping. So, yeah, keep doing that, man. Let everybody know about the food because it's more important than you think.
Okay, so I got a question for you. So first of all, hopefully you're able to fight the cancer, beat it, and stay here for as long as you can. But beyond that, what are you eating now? Like, what's your diet consisting of right now?
Well, I try to eat good. I don't always eat good. But I eat avocados, salmon, coconut water like you do, organic food, grass-fed beef, organic chicken. So I try to do all that. Every once in a while I don't, just because I'm working and it's hard to eat well when you're not home. But,
right.
But it's important. There's an easy way to do it too. Bobby Approved, the app.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an app called Bobby Approved. You can scan the code, and it'll tell you whether it's good or not.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a good little hack out there for people who might need some help. Hey, is this good? Is it bad? That's a good idea.
Yeah. One more thing. In reference to Biden having cancer, I know just because I'm an average Joe and they caught it during my physical that they knew he must have gotten screened for it. You know what I'm saying? So they knew he had it.
That's my opinion as well, because it's like, come on, this is the president of the United States and they just didn't know. I'm not buying that, really.
No, there's no way in hell, especially it got to his bones. There's no way in hell that they didn't screen for that. So anyway, I just wanted to call and give you props on the nutrition, man. So keep it up, because I had no idea my whole life. I ate whatever I wanted, got cancer, and they didn't say nothing about smoking. They didn't say nothing about exercising. They said diet. Diet was the big thing. So, all right, thanks a lot.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Hopefully, yeah, man, you go ahead and beat that cancer and you be here for a lot longer. Absolutely. But yeah, man, the diet is the key. That is the key. And also, almost, because I was talking for a long time, I didn't want to talk forever, but another piece of that is your exercise, being active, moving around, doing things, cutting your grass, little small things that add up. But also, push-ups, I do a lot of push-ups. Like, people always ask me, because of how I look, they be like, what's your gym routine? I'm not even a gym guy. Okay. I have a home gym, but I don't even really use it that much. Most I'm going to do is push-ups. Now, I could do a lot of push-ups because I've been doing push-ups since I've been young. But the main thing is your diet and moving around, doing things. You see people in these third world countries, cut up. I'm talking about abs on abs. Ain't no gym in no third world country. Ain't no gym in no tribal area. Okay, you in a tribal area, they got wood huts and the guys is cut up. How they looking like that is because of their diet and their physical activity, things that they actually do every day. And the gym in many ways can substitute activity that you may do as far as, hunting and gathering. If you're not doing that, you can go to the gym and simulate some of that by lifting heavy weights. But what I do, I just do a lot of physical activity, push-ups, sit-ups, maybe pull-ups, but definitely push-ups. That's the main thing. Different kinds of push-ups. You do your incline. I love my incline push-ups. Incline, decline, flat on. You do the diamond push-ups. You spread your hands like this, spread them like that. The work areas of your chest. You could do your sit-ups. I had an ab lounger back in the day. The ab lounger was great. I still kind of got like a little keg right now, but I had abs and everything too. The main thing though is your diet. So if you go into the gym and you're not seeing no gains, no improvement, it's because you eat terrible, and that's going to really determine overall your health, which will reflect itself on how you look as well. You can maybe, I suppose, out gym your diet, but you're not doing it very efficiently. If you just didn't eat so much garbage, you wouldn't need to go to the gym so much, in my humble opinion. And of course, again, water, coconut water, nutritious things. Coconut water is also nutritious, more than regular water, because it comes from, a fruit or vegetable. So there's nutrients in the water that you're not really going to get from filtered water. If you're getting spring water or something like that, there's probably more nutrients there than it would be from filtered water. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep right now. That might be a series of videos I could do about nutrition. I could do a whole Uncle ABL series, and that's a great way to end the show. If you guys have not subscribed to Uncle ABL, please do so. But that'll be a wrap for me tonight on tonight's podcast. I'll be back again on Tuesday, because y'all know I do the Tuesday podcast on the Instagrams. If you guys have Instagram, please follow me there, Anthony B. Logan. If you're already following me, just tune in on Tuesday, and I'm going to do 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on Instagram, live on there, smaller audience, more intimate. I'm able to talk to you directly. You guys can hop on. You can have a conversation. I'll read your comments. It's cool. It's a good time. Again, on Instagrams. And what I might end up doing is going live on Facebook as well. Shout out to the Facebook people. You guys are great. I'm getting a lot of views over there, a lot of positive comments, a lot of growth on Facebook. Shout out to you guys over on the Facebooks. You guys are asking some questions about the food. I answer those right quick before I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Is there a flavored coconut water? They have coconut water that's flavored. You got Vita Coco. We got different flavors of Vita Coco, but I don't recommend you get flavored coconut water because now we're defeating the purpose. The purpose is to have as organic and non-processed as foods as possible. And what you want is a straight up water. Like what you want is something that has one ingredient. This has one ingredient, coconut water. That's it. No sugar added, not from concentrate. You want something like this. That's going to be your main thing. Now, if you get into the flavored stuff, you're kind of reducing the nutritional benefit, in my humble opinion. Okay. But I'm reading some of these comments right here before wrapping on up. I put the bow clean on it. Let me see. All right. Hold on. Let me see. You're So Cool says, yep, it's 90% diet, 10% activity. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. Write that down. Exactly. Glenn says, I drink coconut water all the time. I grew up in Central America and Hong Kong. Great stuff. Shout out Hong Kong, Central America, all of that. Let me see. Onyx Solo says, so I can't have my daily half gallon of chunky chocolate ice cream. No, you cannot have your daily half gallon of chunky chocolate ice cream. That ain't going to get her done at all. Toad says, I strength train and eat right for the most part. I kick back a few on weekends though. Yeah, listen, if you have a good foundation of physical health and fitness, you eating well, you got activity going on, your cardiovascular, Stairmaster, whatever. If you're doing that, then you can have a big back day. I have big back days occasionally. I go to McDonald's. My big back place is McDonald's. Yeah. And it's not McDonald's ain't that bad, actually. McDonald's is probably better than a lot of your fast food restaurants, and it's probably better than a lot of your sit-down restaurants. McDonald's, in my opinion, is better than going to Applebee's or Chili's because you're going to get a small serving. You go over there, you're getting food that's processed in a similar way as McDonald's, but you're going to get a 2,000 calorie portion on the low end. Versus McDonald's, you get a chicken sandwich and the fry, it's like 600 calories. So it's different. If you're going to eat necessarily not nutritious calories, don't get 2,000, get 600 for your big bad day. If you're going to get a pizza, don't eat 15 to the face, eat one. But the majority of your days should be spent doing the right thing, and you'll be fine, in my humble opinion. Okay. NKM says, you get a Big Mac from McDonald's. Hey, I got that right. Tongue twister. Big Mac. Say that 5 times fast. But I did not get a Big Mac. I got a chicken sandwich. I don't do no Big Macs. All right. So you guys are great. I'll be back again on Tuesday, then back here on Wednesday. And I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content on the Instagrams, on the TikToks, on the YouTubes, everywhere. I got super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick, then wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that. And of course, I cannot do any of this without y'all, because without y'all, there's no me. Thank you to Kyrus Parchments for the sunshade emoji. Thank you to Bob K MIT, who says, are you still planning on having the meet and greets? Yes, I am. Will it be this year? Hopefully so. That's the goal. If so, can you put out a list? I got you. As soon as I get that, you'll be the first one to know. Thank you to Zedoch's King Sword, who says, eat a steak, ABL, alrighty then. I'm not really a red meat guy. I'm not really a red meat guy, to be totally honest with you. I prefer to eat fish most of my days. If I could eat fish every day, I would. And when I do not eat fish, it'll be chicken. I eat steak on rare occasion. I had some steak recently. It was amazing. And when I do eat steak, all right, for the steak eaters, how do you prepare your steak? And there's only really there's more than one answer, but there are some incorrect answers, to put it to you that way. It's not like you could just say, I'm going to get it well done, and that be the right answer. That's not the right answer. I get mine medium rare. Not all the way rare, but medium rare. Not medium, because when they go medium, it's starting to get a little bit leathery. And once you go to well done, you got a whole football helmet from 1935. I don't want to eat that. Give me the medium rare. A nice little sear, red on the inside, and you be good money. I like that a lot. People are afraid of people that don't eat medium rare. In my opinion, might be a little bit afraid of that. Feel like they might get sick, but you'll be all right. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. And if you get sick, you ain't going to die. It ain't going to hurt you. It ain't going to hurt nothing. But I tell you what, though, I better get some high quality. I want some high quality steak, though. I ain't going to, random place. Kind of looks janky. Steak costs $5. Give me a high quality cut, medium rare, and I'm straight. Look, all you need, salt, pepper. I don't need no A1, no Worcester sauce, none of that. Five Guys is Big Back Central. Yuck. Five Guys, look, you go into Five Guys, you just eating salt and fat and sugar. It's too much. Five Guys is just the fries, all of that. Five Guys is worse than McDonald's. You go to Five Guys, you get in the bag, it's completely greased. It's grease on grease on grease on grease. Grease on grease on grease in that bag. McDonald's, it's not as over the top. It's a lot more simple. It's not so saturated with fats. Five Guys is to McDonald's as produce is to processed food, in my humble opinion. All right. Thank you to Zay, who says, ABL, my girlfriend Brandy loves American cheese, Velveeta at that. I can't get her to leave it alone. LOL, love the show. Hey, man. Well, God bless you for hanging in there. Hey, God bless you for hanging in there, boss. I couldn't do it. If my young lady was in there with a big bowl of that stinking cheese, I'd be like, look, man, something got to give. Either you got to get out or the cheese got to get out. So what's it going to be? Shout out to you, bro, for the super chat. But I think that will be a wrap for me. Hey, I'm gonna give you guys some information about nutrition. And I think I had a video idea, and I'm gonna still do it. What I'm gonna do is go to the store and show you what to buy and how much it costs. So this idea of processed food costing too much is just gonna get put to bed. I can go into the store with maybe like $30 and get enough food for like 3 to 4 days. All healthy, all organic, all good. Anyway, that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.